Michael Hordern as Jeeves, Richard Bryars as Bertie Wooster, and James Villiers as Esmond Haddock. From the book, The Mating Season. Episode 1, Deverill Hall.
While I would not go so far, perhaps, as to describe the heart as actually leaden, I must confess that on the eve of starting to do my bit of time at Deverill Hall, I was definitely short on chirpiness. My Aunt Agatha, the one who chews broken bottles and kills rats with her teeth, had suddenly arrived in London and instructed me, in her authoritative way, to proceed to this residence of some pals of hers in King's Deverill, Hants, and lend my services to the village concert. Apparently they wanted to stiffen up the program with some metropolitan talent, and I'd been recommended by the vicar's niece. And it didn't make the outlook any brighter to know that Gussie Fink-Nottle would be among those present at Deverill Hall. I wonder, by the way, if you recall this Augustus. Goofy to the gills, face like a fish, horn-rimmed spectacles, drank orange juice, collected newts, engaged to England's premier pill, a girl called Madeline Bassett. You've got him? Fine. Then you'll understand why I felt that if I was to be trapped in the den of the secret 9, I would need something a lot better than him to help keep the upper lip stiff. I mentioned all this to Jeeves, and he agreed that the setup could have been juicier. Still, it's flattering, of course, being the people's choice, Jeeves, having these birds going round chanting, "We want Wooster."
Ah, yes, sir. Precisely. Most gratifying.
I just wish I had more data about the gang at Deverill Hall. So far, all I've gathered is that I'm to be the guest of a landed proprietor called Harris or Hacker or possibly Hassock.
Haddock, sir. Mr. Esmond Haddock.
Haddock? That name seems to strike a chord, Jeeves, as if I've heard it before somewhere.
Mr. Haddock is the son of the owner of a widely advertised patent remedy known as Haddock's Headache Hokies, sir. Possibly the specific is familiar to you?
Of course, I know it well. Not so sensationally good as those pick-me-ups of yours, of course, but nonetheless a sound standby on the morning after. So he's one of those Haddocks, is he?
Yes, sir. The young gentleman's late father married the late Miss Flora Deverill.
Before they were both late, of course.
Precisely, sir.
I see. How do you know all this, Jeeves?
An odd chance, sir. My Uncle Charlie holds the post of butler at the hall, sir. It is from him that I derive my information.
Really? I didn't know you had an Uncle Charlie. Charlie Jeeves?
No, sir. Charlie is silversmith.
Well, this is a bit of goose. You'll be able to give me all the salient facts, then, if salient is the word I want. Would there be a Mrs. Haddock?
No, sir. The young gentleman is unmarried. He resides at the hall with his 5 aunts.
5?
Yes, sir. The Mrs. Charlotte, Emmeline, Harriet, and Myrtle Deverill, and Dame Daphne Winkworth, relict of the late P.B. Winkworth, the historian. Dame Daphne's daughter, Miss Gertrude Winkworth, is, I understand, also in residence.
I see. No stint of female society.
No, sir.
I may find Gussie's company a relief.
Very possibly, sir.
But tell me, how does Gussie come to be mixed up with these bacteria genes? Surely a bit of an inscrutable mystery that he, too, should be headed for Deverill Hall.
No, sir. The matter is susceptible of a ready explanation. Dame Daphne Winkworth is the godmother of Miss Madeline Bassett. Miss Bassett wishes to exhibit Mr. Fink-Nottle to the lady whom he has not yet met.
I see. Did you get that from Uncle Charlie?
No, sir. It was Mr. Fink-Nottle himself who informed me.
You've seen him then?
Yes, sir. He called while you were out.
How did he seem?
Low-spirited. He had supposed that Miss Bassett would be accompanying him, but at the last moment she has gone to reside with an old school friend who has recently suffered a disappointment in love. I gathered from his remarks, for he was kind enough to confide in me, that there has resulted a certain coolness between himself and Miss Bassett.
Gosh, Jeeves.
Precisely, sir.
Golly.
Exactly, sir.
That's bad news.
Yes.
Well, let us hope it's just a lover's tiff, Jeeves. Always happen in these lovers' tiffs, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Ah, someone waits without. Who do you think it is?
I would imagine that it is Mr. Pirbright, sir.
Oh, cat's meat?
Yes, sir. He also called during your absence and indicated that he would return later. He was accompanied by his sister, Miss Pirbright.
Good Lord, really? I thought Corky was in Hollywood.
I understand that she has returned to England for a vacation.
Oh, how were they both?
Miss Pirbright was in good humour, sir. Mr. Pirbright, contrariwise, was low-spirited.
Well, you're mixing him up with Gussy. It was Gussy, if you recall, who was low-spirited.
Mr. Pirbright also.
Oh, there seems to be a lot of low-spiritedness kicking about these days.
We live in difficult times, sir.
True. Well, you better bung him in, Jeeves.
Very good, sir. Mr. Pirbright, sir.
Hello, Bertie.
Cat's meat. What's the matter? Thank you, Jeeves.
Whiskey and soda.
Oh, right, old man. What's up? Oh, I'm sorry I wasn't in when you called earlier. You had Corky with you, I believe. I should have loved a chat with Corky. Now I suppose I've missed her. Here.
Thanks. You haven't missed her, Bertie.
Another?
Yes, please.
I'm afraid I have, Catfleet. I leave tomorrow for King's Deverill Hall to help with the village concert. It seems the vicar's niece insisted on having me in the troupe. What's puzzling me is how this girl of God heard of me.
You silly ass, she's Corky. Thanks.
Corky?
My Uncle Sidney is vicar down there, and my aunt's away at Bournemouth. In her absence, Corky is keeping house for him.
But doesn't she find a vicarage rather slow after being a Hollywood star?
Not a bit. She loves it. Her dream is to marry someone who lives in the country and spend the rest of her life knee-deep in cows. Messing about in the parish and putting on village concerts is just her ditch.
I see. Any idea what she wants me to give the local yokels, incidentally? Not the yeoman's wedding song, I trust. That always seems to arouse the worst passions of rustic standees.
No. You're billed to play Pat in that knockabout Pat and Mike crosstalk act of mine. The Pongo Twistleton and Barmy Phipps do each year at the Drone Smoker.
Oh, fine. But tell me, if Corky wanted someone for Pat, why didn't she get you? You being a seasoned professional of the sock and buskin, I mean. Or are you above such amateur stuff?
Not at all. Nothing would please me more than to perform at the concert, but the shot isn't on the board. Those women at the hall hate my insides.
Oh, so you've met them. What are they like?
No, I haven't met them, but I'm engaged to their niece, Gertrude Winkworth, and the idea of her marrying me gives them the pip. That's what I came to see you about, actually, Bertie. I should like to begin by saying that since the first human being crawled out of the primeval slime and life began on this planet, nobody has ever loved anybody as I love Gertrude Winkworth. She's wonderful, Bertie. Why she loves me, I can't imagine.
But she does?
Oh, yes, she does. We met in Norfolk and got engaged. But when she returned to Deverill Hall to break the news to her mother, what do you think happened?
You got the bird?
Yes, I had a sad letter from Gertrude saying no dice. You may ask, why don't we elope?
I was just going to.
I couldn't swing it. She fears her mother's wrath.
A tough character, this mother.
Of the toughest. It's a frightful situation.
Yes. Another?
Oh, if I may. But that's not all. We now come to the hellhound haddock. Do you know anything about this grade A louse?
Well, only that his late father was the proprietor of Haddock's Headache Hokies.
And left him enough money to sink a ship. Thanks. But in addition to having more cash than you could shake a stick at, he's a sort of Greek god in appearance and extremely magnetic, so Gertrude says.
You mean Haddock is trying to move in?
Gertrude writes that he's giving her the rush of a lifetime. And this will show you the sort of flitting and sipping butterfly the hound is. It's only a short while ago that he was giving Corky a similar rush. I tell you, the man is a public menace. But we'll fix him, won't we, Bertie?
Will we?
You bet we will. Here's what I want you to do. Be always at Gertrude's side. Stick to her like glue. If a visit to the rose garden is mooted, include yourself in. You follow me, Bertie?
I follow you, yes. What you have in mind is something on the lines of Mary's Lamb. I don't know if you happen to know the poem. I used to recite it as a child. Broadly, the nub was that Mary had a little lamb with fleece as white as snow, and everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. You want me to model my technique on that of Mary's little lamb?
That's it.
Oh.
I'm relying on you, Bertie. My life's happiness depends on you.
Oh. Well, right-ho then.
I only wish there was something I could do for you in return.
There is actually, cat's meat.
Oh?
Yes. You know Gussie Fink-Nottle?
Yes.
Well, he's had a tiff with Madeline Bassett. Just a passing coolness, I'm sure. But you know how it is in that sort of situation. You go off for a solitary dinner. You start brooding over the girl with the soup and wonder if it wasn't a mug's game hitching up with her. With the fish, this feeling deepens so that by the time you're ordering the coffee, you've come to the conclusion that she's a rag and a bone and a hank of hair, and it would be madness to sign her on as a life partner. But there are reasons why I prefer this not to happen in the case of A. Fink-Nottle. So could you give him a spot of dinner? I know what you're thinking, Tasmith. You're saying to yourself that the first essential for an enjoyable dinner party is for Gussie not to be at it.
Quite. Give Gussie Fink-Nottle dinner, you say?
That's right.
Why can't you?
I'm engaged elsewhere.
Well, all right then.
Heaven bless you, Catsmeat. And so, with Gussie off my mind, I retired to rest that night with a light heart, little knowing, as the expression is, what the morrow was to bring forth. Though, as a matter of fact, in its earlier stages, the morrow brought forth some pretty good stuff. Lunch at the Drones, followed by a game or two of rackets at Queen's Club, put me in excellent fettle. And I don't mind admitting that as I latch-keyed myself back into the flat around tea time, I was feeling nothing short of fizzy. It was the last time I did. Crossing the threshold, I became aware of a sort of loud barking sound, as of hounds on the trail, proceeding from my sitting room. It was as though my boudoir had been selected by the Quorn or the Pytchley as the site for their most recent meet. I opened the door and was immediately knocked base over apex by some solid body with a tongue like an anteater's. This tongue, it proceeded to pass enthusiastically over my upper slopes, and the mist clearing away, I perceived that what I was tangled up with was a shaggy dog of mixed parentage. And standing beside us, looking down like a mother watching the gambols of her firstborn, was Catsmeat's sister, Corky. No, let me up. Will you let me up? Thank you. The bally animal looks like Boris Karloff made up for something.
His name's Sam Goldwyn. I bought him yesterday for Battersea Home.
Did you? Down, sir. Down, sir. Out. Good boy. Well, Corky, tip and all that. It's nice to see you again, anyway.
It's lovely to see you too, Bertie. How are you?
Fine. I hear you're organising the village concert in King's Deverill, for which my services have been engaged.
Yes, that's right. And I don't mind telling you the public is expecting big things from you, Bertie. For days, the whole village has been talking of nothing else but the coming visit of Bertie Wooster, the great London comic.
Oh.
You will be the high spot of the programme. And goodness knows it can do with a high spot or two.
Quite. Who are my supporting cast?
Just the scourings of the neighbourhood. And Esmond Haddock. He's singing a song.
Ah, yes, Esmond Haddock. Catsmeat was telling me about Esmond Haddock.
What did he say?
Well, he seemed to hint that you and this modern Casanova were at one time holding hands, but that after a while he cast you aside like a worn-out glove and attached himself to Gertrude Winkworth. Quite incorrect, probably. I expect he got the whole story muddled up.
No, he didn't. We were holding hands, but Esmond didn't cast me aside like a worn-out glove. I cast him aside like a worn-out glove. I told him I wouldn't have any more to do with him unless he asserted himself and stopped crawling to those aunts of his.
He crawls to his aunts, does he?
Yes, the worm. When it came to being scared to tell his aunts we were engaged, I put my foot down. I said he'd got to tell them, and he turned green and said, oh, he couldn't. And I said, all right then, let's call the whole thing off. And I haven't spoken to him since, except to ask him to sing this song at the concert. And the unfortunate part of it all is, Bertie, that I'm crazier about him than ever. Just to think of him makes me want to howl and chew the carpet.
Oh, there. Too bad, what?
It's all right. It's just one of those things, I suppose. Down, boy, down.
Down, boy, down.
Yes, Jeeves? Mr. Purbride, sir?
Catsmeat.
Hello, Catsmeat, darling.
Hello. Oh, my head. Jeeves, one of your special morning afters, if you please.
Very good.
Sit!
So you were lathered last night, were you?
I was perhaps a mite polluted.
Why?
Eh?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why did you get Scrooge?
Oh, don't shout, Corky.
You promised me faithfully you wouldn't get pie-eyed, you poor fish. What price the word of the Purbright?
When I gave the word of the Purbrights, I didn't know I should be dining with Gussie Fink-Nottle. Bertie will bear me out that it is not humanly possible to get through an evening alone with Gussie without large quantities of stimulants.
Quite right. And last night, I should imagine, he was low-spirited to boot.
Very low-spirited. After a bit, I saw there was only one thing to be done. I told the waiter to bring a magnum and leave it at my elbow. After that, things seemed to get better.
Did Mr. Fink-Nottle drink as much as you?
Not a drop.
The only thing Gussie drinks is that obscene beverage produced by putting half an orange on a squeezer and pushing.
Oh, Bertie, I am going to track Jeeves down in his lair. I need that dynamite special instance. I don't think I have long to live.
Right-ho, old bean.
Well, when do you go down to Deverill, Bertie?
Eh? This evening.
How do you feel about it?
Not too good, Corky, I must confess. A certain coolness in the feet. I'm never at my best in the society of aunts, even those of another. And according to Jeeves, there's a solid gaggle of them at Deverill Hall. 5, he says.
Yes, that's right.
It's a lot.
5 too many. I don't think you like them, Bertie. One's deaf, one's dotty, and they're all bitches.
You use strong words, child.
Only because I can't think of any stronger. Ham!
Sam! Oh, Jeeves. Yes?
I have placed Mr. Purbright in the spare bedroom, sir.
Is he dead?
No, sir. Asleep only.
Right-ho, then, Jeeves.
May I make a remark?
Certainly, Jeeves. Carry on.
Thank you, sir. It is with reference to Mr. Purbright, sir. The young gentleman has been good enough to take me into his confidence concerning the events of yesterday evening.
Do you mean he can remember them?
Yes.
Well, get on, Jeeves. To what events do you allude?
Those occurring post-prandially, sir. Following dinner at the Dorchester, it appears that Mr. Purbright chartered a taxi, and he and Mr. Fink-Nottle then visited East Dulwich, Ponder's End, and Limehouse, sir. In that order.
Limehouse?
Yes, sir. Mr. Purbright informed me that he wished to compare its blues, as I believe they are termed, with his own.
And what about East Dulwich and Ponder's End?
Mr. Purbright cannot recollect any reason for visiting those places, sir.
Oh, carry on.
Thank you, sir. It appears that the two young gentlemen eventually finished up in Trafalgar Square at approximately 5 o'clock this morning, sir. And it was there, according to Mr. Purbright, that he was in the receipt of an idea which, despite its attractiveness at the time, he now admits to having been a mistake. It appears, sir, that Mr. Purbright, speculating that there might be newts in the Trafalgar Square fountain and knowing Mr. Fink-Nottle's enthusiasm for such amphibia, persuaded the latter gentleman to search for any that might be present by wading around in the water.
What? With all his clothes on?
Yes, miss. Mr. Purbright informed me that he remembers noticing that Mr. Fink-Nottle was wearing his clothes.
But you can't go wading in the Trafalgar Square fountain with all your clothes on, Jeeves.
Nevertheless, it appears that Mr. Fink-Nottle did so, sir, albeit reluctantly. According to Mr. Purbright, he stubbornly refused to enter the fountain until Mr. Purbright threatened a physical assault upon his person with a magnum of champagne.
And then he waded.
Yes, sir.
I wonder he wasn't pinched.
He was, miss. A constable arrested the young gentleman, and this morning at Bosher Street Police Court he was given a prison sentence of 14 days without the option of a fine.
What? You mean he's in stir?
Precisely, sir.
But he's due at Deverill Hall this evening.
Yes, sir.
Shall I tell you something, Bertie? He won't be there.
But, Jeeves, look, what's Miss Bassett going to say? What will her attitude be when she learns the facts? She opens tomorrow's paper. She sees that love name in headlines in the police court section.
No, sir.
No?
No, sir. Mr. Fink-Nottle, showing considerable and, if I may say so, commendable astuteness, gave his name as Alfred Duff Cooper.
Oh, well, all right. But what's going to happen when he doesn't turn up at the hall? Questions will be asked. And Jeeves.
Yes, sir.
You're letting your attention wander.
I beg your pardon, sir. I was observing the dog. If you'll notice, sir, he has commenced to eat the sofa cushion.
Never mind about the dog.
I think it would be advisable to remove the little fellow to the kitchen, sir. I will return as soon as he is safely immured. Come along, sir.
Oh, golly.
Bertie, what is all this about? Why all the excitement and agony? I could understand Mr. Fink-Nottle being a little upset by the latest turn of events, but why are you skipping like the high hills? And why is what this Miss Bassett thinks so important?
I'll tell you, Corky. In fact, I'm rather glad that Jeeves has temporarily absented himself from the conference table because I couldn't unbosom myself freely about the Bassett in his presence.
Why ever not?
To do so would be bandying a woman's name.
Oh, and the Woosters do not bandy a woman's name.
Certainly not. Nor, for the matter of that, do the Jeeveses. He knows all about it, of course, and I know he knows, but we do not discuss it. However, let us return to the matter under advisement. Briefly, I won't go into details now. Last summer, this frightful Bassett got the impression firmly fixed in her woolen head that Bertram was pining away for love of her. In fact, she told me that if ever she discovered that Gussy was not the rare, stainless soul she thought him, she would return him to store and make me happy.
Why does she want him to be a rare, stainless soul?
She's an idealistic girl, Corky, and she'll not take kindly to the news that the man on whom she looks as a purer, loftier spirit than other men is doing 14 days in the jug. No, let this Bassett M become hep to what has occurred, and there can be but one result. Gussy will get the bum's rush, and I shall have no option but to take the rap. One must be civil, after all. And the bowed figure you will see shambling down the aisle at her side will be that of Bertram Wilberforce Wooster.
I didn't know your name was Wilberforce.
Except in moments of great emotion, one hushes it up.
Oh, I see. Well, difficult, Bertie. But how are you going to keep her from finding out? When she hears that Mr. Fink-Nottle hasn't arrived at the hall, she's bound to make inquiries.
And those inquiries, once made, must infallibly lead her to the awful truth? Exactly. But there's always Jeeves.
You think he'll be able to fix things?
He never fails. He wears a number 14 hat, eats tons of fish, and moves in a mysterious way his wonders to perform. See, here he comes, looking as intelligent as Dammit. Well, Jeeves, have you speared a solution?
Yes, sir, but...
You see, Corky, did I hear you use the word but, Jeeves? Why but?
It is merely that I entertained a certain misgiving as to whether the solution which I am about to put forward would meet with your approval, sir.
If it's a solution, that's all I want.
Well, sir, to obviate the inquiries which would inevitably be set on foot should Mr. Fink-Nottle not present himself at Deverill Hall this evening, it would appear to be essential that the substitute purporting to be Mr. Fink-Nottle should take his place.
You aren't suggesting that I check in at this leper colony as Gussy?
Unless you can persuade one of your friends to do so, sir.
You can't go about London asking people to pretend to be Gussie Fink-Nottle. At least you can, I suppose, but what a hell of a life. Besides, there isn't time to. I've got it. Catchmeat?
What?
Catchmeat, come here. This is important. Hurry up.
What is it?
Come here. Listen. A problem has arisen in re Augustus Fink-Nottle. He's due at Deverill Hall this evening.
Yes?
And he's in the coop.
Yes?
Well, Jeeves thinks... what was it, Jeeves?
To obviate the inquiries which would inevitably be set on foot should Mr. Fink-Nottle not present himself at Deverill Hall this evening,
Now, follow this closely, Catchmeat.
it would appear to be essential that a substitute purporting to be Mr. Fink-Nottle should take his place.
You mean Bertie, of course.
We thought of you.
Me?
Yes.
You want me to say I'm Gussie Fink-Nottle?
That's right.
No, no. 1,000 times no. What a revolting idea.
Well, I know last night was a bit of a gruesome experience, old egg.
No.
It would enable you to be under the same roof as Gertrude, Catchmeat.
Even to be at my Gertrude's side, I won't have people going about thinking I'm Gussie Fink-Nottle. Besides, I couldn't get away with it. I shouldn't be even adequate in the role. I'm much too obviously a man of intelligence, and Gussy must have been widely publicized as the fat-headedest ass in creation. After 5 minutes' conversation with me, the old folks would penetrate the deception like a dose of salts. No. What you want if you are putting on an understudy for Gussie Fink-Nottle is someone like Gussie Fink-Nottle, so that the eye is deceived. You get the part, Bertie.
You don't think I'm like Gussie?
You might be twins.
I still think you're a chump, Catchmeat.
I will not say I am Gussie Fink-Nottle.
Righto. I suppose I must bow to the inev. In all human affairs, there's got to be a goat or patsy doing the dirty work. And in the present crisis, I see it has got to be me. Generally happens that way. Whenever there's a job to be taken on of a kind calculated to make humanity shudder, the cry goes up, let Wooster do it. I'm not complaining. I'm just mentioning it. Very well. No need to argue. I'll be Gussie.
Smiling, the boy fell dead. Well done, Bertie. And now, if you don't mind, I'll be returning to your spare room. I need a short nap if I am to face the world again. What was it I heard you call sleep the other day, Jeeves?
Tired nature's sweet restorer, sir.
That was it. And you said a mouthful. Toodle-pip.
I think I had better be popping too, Bertie. 100 things to attend to.
Right, Elsie.
I'll see you in King's Deverill then. Don't bother to show me out, Jeeves.
Very good.
Jeeves, that bally hound.
Yes,
She's forgotten it.
sir. No, sir.
No?
No, sir. Miss Pirbright earlier informed me that she wishes you to take the quadruped to the hall for a day or two, sir, in order to give her time to prepare her uncle, the Reverend Sidney Pirbright, for the ordeal, sir. The gentleman is not fond of dogs, and it was Miss Pirbright's opinion that this particular example of the species might have to be broken to him gently.
What?
Acting on the assumption that you would be desirous of rendering the young lady assistance, I assured her that you would be delighted to fall in with her scheme, sir.
Did you?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm not going to appear at the hall with a dog like that, Jeeves. It would ruin my prestige.
Mr. Fink-Nottle's prestige, sir.
Sorry? Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Yes. But all the same, Jeeves.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean, yes, sir?
I was endeavoring to convey my appreciation of the fact that your position is, in many respects, somewhat difficult, sir. But I wonder if I might call your attention to an observation of the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He said, "Does aught befall you, it is good. It is part of the destiny of the universe ordained for you from the beginning. All that befalls you is part of the great web."
He said that, did he?
Yes, sir.
Well, you can tell him from me he's an ass.
Very good, sir.
Now, are my things packed?
Yes, sir.
The two-seater is at the door?
Yes, sir.
Then lead me to it, Jeeves. If I'm to get to this Lazar house before midnight, I better be starting.
Very good, sir.
Well, I did get there before midnight, of course, but I was dashed late all the same. As might have been expected on a day like this, the two-seater, usually as reliable as an Arab steed, developed some pox or sickness halfway through the journey, with the result that it was getting on for 8 when I at last punched the front doorbell, only to be informed by Jeeves's Uncle Charlie, who answered it, that dinner had been underway for 10 minutes. In the circles in which I move, it's pretty generally recognized that I am a resilient sort of bimbo whose fine spirit cannot be crushed. But I've never before been thrust into the position of having to say I was Gussie Fink-Nottle, and slap on top of that having to dine in a strange house without dressing, and I don't mind admitting that for an instant everything went black. And what with the agony of feeling like a tramp cyclist, and the embarrassment of having to boat my rations with everybody, or so it seemed to my inflamed image, clicking their tongues and saying to one another in undertones what a hell of a nuisance this hold-up was, it was not for some time that I was sufficiently restored to take a proper deco at the personnel. As far as the eye could reach, I found myself gazing on a surging sea of aunts. There were tall aunts, short aunts, stout aunts, thin aunts, and an aunt who was carrying on a conversation in a low voice to which nobody seemed to be paying the slightest attention. The dotty one, presumably. At the top of the table, next to an attractive young prune in white, whom I took to be Catsmeet's Gertrude, was a youngish bloke in a well-cut dinner jacket, who looked like a combination of a poet and an all-in wrestler. The Greek god, Haddock. It would not have surprised you to learn that this Haddock wrote sonnets of a fruity and emotional nature. Nor would you have been astonished if informed that he had recently felled an ox at a single blow. You simply would have felt what an ass the ox must have been to get into an argument with a fellow with a chest like that. No, what was extraordinary was that this Superman was in the habit of crawling to his aunts. But for Corky's evidence, I would have said, looking at him, that there sat a nephew capable of facing the toughest aunt and making her say uncle. And I was just musing on this odd trait in his character when the subject of the concert came up, and I was dragged into the general conversation for the first time.
I must have retired this evening. He was most upset.
Really, Myrtle? Why?
Well, it seems... you may know more about this than I do, Daphne. It seems that Miss Pirbright has insisted upon introducing into the program of the concert what she describes as a knockabout crosstalk act.
And what is a knockabout crosstalk act?
Oh, I've no idea. Do you know, Harriet?
No, I do not, Myrtle.
Esmond?
Not me, Aunt Daphne.
Oh, perhaps Augustus can tell us then. Augustus?
What? Oh, rather. Oh, yes, rather. It's one of those pattern mic things, don't you know? Two birds come on in green beards, armed with umbrellas. And one bird says to the other bird, "Who is that lady I saw you coming down the street with?" And the second bird says to the first bird, "Faith and be gob, that was no lady, that was my wife." And then the second bird bashed the first bird over the beam with his umbrella. And the first bird, not to be behindhand, bashed the second bird over the head with his umbrella. You see? And so the long day wears on.
Very vulgar.
Terribly vulgar.
Disgustingly vulgar. But how typical of Miss Pirbright to suggest such a performance at a village concert.
Oh, quite right, Daphne.
Well, I am glad that it is this Mr. Wooster, and not you, Augustus, who is disgracing himself by taking part in this degrading horseplay. I mean, imagine how Madeline would feel.
Oh, Madeline would never get over it.
What did you say? Myrtle said, dear, Madeline would never get over it, Charlotte. Oh, no, I'm sure.
Dear Madeline is so spiritual.
Quite. No. Well, I wouldn't dream of taking part in such a thing.
I am pleased to hear it, Augustus.
From all I have heard of Mr. Wooster, this kind of vulgar foolery would be quite congenial to him. By the way, where is Mr. Wooster? He was to have arrived this afternoon, and he has not even sent a telegram.
Well, he must be a most erratic young man.
Erratic is a kindly term. He appears to be completely irresponsible. Agatha tells me that sometimes she despairs of him. She says she often wonders if the best thing would not be to put him in a home of some kind. There seems to be no end to his escapades. I believe it is not so long ago that he was arrested and fined for stealing a policeman's helmet in Piccadilly.
Oh, yes, well, that was due to an unfortunate oversight.
I beg your pardon, Augustus.
Well, in pinching a helmet, you see, as of course I don't need to tell you, it's essential before lifting to give a forward shove in order to detach the strap from the officer's chin. This Wooster omitted to do.
Really?
Yes. Still, be that as it may, I wonder if you know the one about the striptease dancer and the performing flea. Rather, no, not that one. The one about the two men in the train. It's old, of course, so stop me if you've heard it before.
Oh, pray, go on, Augustus.
Well, it's about these two deaf men in the train.
My sister Charlotte has the misfortune to be deaf. It is a great affliction.
Oh.
What is he saying?
Augustus is telling us a story, Charlotte. Please go on, Augustus.
Well, there were these two deaf chaps in the train, don't you know? And it stopped at Wembley. One of them looked out of the window and said, "This is Wembley." And the other said, "I thought it was Thursday." And the first chap said, "Yes, so am I." What?
What did he say? Augustus was telling us a story about two men in the train, dear. One of them said, "Today is Wednesday," and the other said, "I thought it was Thursday." And the first man said, "Yes, so did I."
I think we might retire to the drawing room now. Esmond?
Yes, Aunt Daphne?
Don't be too long over your port.
No, Aunt Daphne.
Are you going to stay and have another orange juice, Augustus?
Oh, rather, yes.
Very well, then. Don't be too long.
Oh, dear. I say,
Yes?
that story of yours,
Oh, yes.
about the fellows in the train.
Quite.
Well, I was a bit distrait when you were telling it, and I think I may possibly have missed the point. Now, as I got it, there were two men in a train, and it stopped at a station.
That's right.
One of them said, "This is Woking," and the other chap said, "I'm thirsty." Was that how it went?
Not quite. It was Wembley the train stopped at, and the fellow said he thought it was Thursday.
Was it Thursday?
No. These chaps were deaf, you see. So when the first chap said, "This is Woking," the second chap, thinking he said Wednesday, said, "So am I." I mean...
Yes, I see. Yes, most amusing. Well, I suppose it's no good offering you any of this.
Well, you know, I wouldn't mind trying it. It would be an experience. It's whiskey or claret or something, isn't it?
A port. You may not like it.
Oh, I think I shall. Oh, yes, it's good. It's very good.
It's supposed to be rather special. Spot more?
Oh, thanks.
I think I'll have another myself. One needs a lot of bracing up these days, I find.
Oh.
Do you know the expression, "These are the times that try men's souls"?
New to me. Your own?
No, I heard it somewhere.
Very neat.
It is rather. Another?
Thanks.
I think I'll join you. Shall I tell you something?
Oh. Do, Esmond, do. You don't mind me calling you Esmond?
I prefer it. I'll call you Gussy.
What? Oh, all right.
The reason I mentioned the times that try men's souls, Gussy...
Yes?
This must go no further.
Not an inch.
Well, then, I'll tell you. My soul, Gussy, is on the rack.
It is?
Yes. I love a girl with every fibre of my being, and she has given me the brush off. Enough to put anyone's soul on the rack, what?
I should say so.
Her name... But naturally, I can't mention names.
Of course not.
So I will merely say that her name is Cora Purbright. Corky to our pals. You don't know her, of course.
Oh, of course not. And she's given you the brusheroo, you said?
Yes. But mark this, Gussie. Even though she's given me the brusheroo, she is still the lodestar of my life.
She is?
Oh, yes. My aunts... some more port?
Thanks.
My aunts, Gussie, will try to kid you that I love my cousin Gertrude. Don't believe a word of it. I only started surging around Gertrude in order to make Corky jealous.
You did?
Yes. So that she would change her mind.
I see. Well, this is excellent news, Esmond.
Why?
What? No reason. So you haven't lost hope, then?
Not by a jugful. And shall I tell you why I haven't lost hope, Gussie? The other day, a very significant thing happened. Corky came to me and asked me to sing a song at this ghastly concert she's getting up. I take that as definite evidence that the old affection still lingers.
You do?
I do. And what's more, I'm banking everything on that song, Gussie. Shall I tell you why?
Please do.
Well, Corky is an emotional girl. And when she hears the audience cheering me to the echo, I'm a young squire, and I'm pretty popular around these parts. I think it'll do something to her. She will melt. She will relent. Always provided, of course, that I don't get the bird.
You won't get the bird.
You think not?
Not a chance. You go like a breeze.
Gussie, you're a great, great comfort.
I try to be, Esmond. What are you going to sing? The yeoman's wedding song?
No. It's a thing that's been written by my Aunt Charlotte with music by my Aunt Myrtle.
Oh.
I say, would you mind if I just ran through it for you now?
Nothing I'd like better.
Except perhaps another spot of port.
Except that, perhaps. Thanks.
Righto then. I won't sing the verse, because there's just a lot of guff about the sun is high up in the sky and the moon is bright and fair and so forth.
Oh, quite good.
The chorus is what brings home the bacon. Now, it goes like this. Hello, 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 hello.
Just a second. What are you supposed to be doing? Telephoning?
No, it's a hunting song.
Oh, a hunting song. I see. I thought it might be one of those I'm going to telephone my baby things. Right-ho.
Right-ho. Hello, 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 hello. A hunting we will go, pom-pom. A hunting we will go.
I don't like that.
What?
That pom-pom.
Oh, well, that's just the accompaniment.
It isn't in the script.
No. Shall I continue?
Do.
Where was I?
Better start at the beginning.
Good idea. Hello, 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 hello. A hunting we will go, pom-pom. A hunting we will go. Today's the day, so come what may. A hunting we will go.
It's all wrong, Esmond.
All wrong?
Well, you think it out yourself. You start off, a hunting we will go, a hunting we will go. And then just as the audience is all keyed up for a punchline, you repeat that a hunting we will go. There will be a sense of disappointment.
You think so, Gussie?
I'm sure of it, Esmond.
What do you advise?
Well, try this.
Hello, 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 hello. A hunting we will go, my lads, a hunting we will go. Pull up your socks and chase the fox and lay the blighter low.
I say, that's very good.
It's stronger, I think.
It's much stronger.
Now, how do you go on from there?
Oh, hearken to the merry horn, over break and over thorn, upon this jolly hunting morn. A hunting we will go.
Yes, well, I passed the first two lines. Merry horn, break and thorn. Not bad at all. At a go, Charlotte. We always knew you had it in you. But not the finish.
You don't like it?
Weak. Very weak. I don't know what sort of standees you get at King's Deverill, but if they're like the unshaven thugs behind the back row at every village concert I've ever known, you're simply inviting them to chai Ike and make a noise like tearing calico. Now, we must do better than that. Let me think now. Born, corn, torn. Torn. I think I have it. Oh, hearken to the merry horn, over brake and over thorn. We'll ride although our bags get torn. What ho, what ho, what ho.
That's terrific.
I was hoping you'd like it.
How do you think of these things, Gussie?
Oh, they just come to one.
It lifts the whole thing. I say, we might run through the revised version, old man, shall we?
But it's no time like the present, dear old chap. Ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, 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 hello. A hunting we will go, my lads, a hunting we will go. Pull up your socks and chase the fox and lay the blighter low. Oh, hearken to the merry horn, over brake and over thorn. We'll ride although our bags get torn. What ho, what ho, and what ho.
Esmond!
Oh, gosh.
What are you doing on the table, Esmond?
Sorry, Aunt Daphne, but it's quite all right.
All right?
Well, we were rehearsing, you see, for the concert, you know.
Oh? Well, we are expecting you in the drawing room.
Yes, Aunt Daphne.
Gertrude is waiting to play backgammon with you.
Yes, Aunt Daphne.
If you feel capable of playing backgammon.
Oh, yes, Aunt Daphne. I'll go at once.
That's better. As for you, Augustus, I think it would be better if you were to go straight to bed. Not a very good start to your visit. I don't know what Madeline would say. Good night.
Good night.
In that episode, the parts were played as follows: Jeeves, Michael Horden; Bertie, Richard Bryars; Esmond Haddock, James Villas; Corky Pirbright, Joe Kendall; Catsmeet Pirbright, Kenneth Fortescue; Dame Daphne Winkworth, Miriam Margulies; other parts, Maddie Head and Elizabeth Morgan. The episode was adapted for radio by Chris Miller from the book The Mating Season by P.G. Wodehouse. The program was produced by Peter Titheridge. It's 7:30. We present What Ho Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. Starring Michael Horden as Jeeves and Richard Bryars as Bertie Wooster. From the book The Mating Season, Episode 2, The Great Web.
Esmond Haddock may have been squire of Deverill Hall, and he may have looked like an above-average Greek god, all broad shoulders and muscles like writhing snakes, but there was no getting away from the fact that he crawled to his aunts. And I must confess that when Dame Daphne Winkworth suddenly appeared in the dining room on my first night at Deverill, and found self on a chair waving a decanter of port, and this Haddock standing on the table using a banana as a hunting crop, I was shocked by his deportment. It was the deportment of a craven and a worm. He came tumbling down from the table like an apologetic sack of coals and slunk from the room, his whole demeanor so crushed and cringing that I could hardly bear to look at him. What we'd been doing, of course, was rehearsing Esmond's Hello, 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 a Hunting We Will Go song for the forthcoming village concert. But there's no point expecting an ex-headmistress like Dame Daphne Winkworth to understand a thing like that. The old geezer clearly considered that we were fried to the tonsils, and so when she suggested in a voice that was as cold and hard as a picnic egg that I go straight to bed, I accepted the proposal with alacrity, if only to terminate a painful scene. In addition, of course, I was most anxious to get in touch with Jeeves, who long ere this, I felt, must have arrived by train with the heavy luggage. Accordingly, when Silversmith, the butler, showed me to my well-appointed chamber, I asked for my man to be sent along instanter. A few minutes later, the door opened, and there entered a familiar form. But it wasn't the familiar form of Jeeves. It was a familiar form of Claude Catamole Pirbright. Catmeat.
Meadows.
What do you mean, Meadows?
That is my name while I remain in your employment. I'm your man.
My man?
Your valet, your attendant, your gentleman's personal gentleman. It's quite simple. Jeeves couldn't come.
What?
No.
You mean Jeeves isn't going to be at my side?
That's right. So I'm taking his place. What are you doing?
Turning my face to the wall.
Why?
Well, wouldn't you turn your face to the wall if you were in my position? Here I am, trapped in this abode of thugs and ghouls, having to pretend to be Gussie Fink-Nottle because the real Augustus has been jugged for wading in the Trafalgar Square fountain at your instigation, may I remind you, Catsmeet. And now you tell me I'm going to be without Jeeves's comfort and advice. Oh, hell! Blast! Damn! Why couldn't Jeeves come? Is he ill?
No, Jeeves isn't ill. What stopped him coming was the fact that his Uncle Charlie is the butler here.
Why the devil should that stop it?
My good Bertie, use your intelligence, if any. Everyone here thinks you are Gussie Fink-Nottle. Uncle Charlie, on the other hand, knows that Jeeves is the keeper of Bertram Wooster. No doubt Jeeves writes him weekly letters saying how happy he is with you and how nothing would ever induce him to switch elsewhere. So what do you think would happen if he suddenly showed up here, claiming to be a member of the Fink-Nottle entourage? I'll tell you what would happen. Uncle Charlie's suspicions would be aroused, and in next to no time, he would be tearing off your whiskers and denouncing you. Obviously, Jeeves couldn't come.
Well, there's something in that, I suppose, but why didn't he tell me, dash it?
It only occurred to him after you'd left.
Well, couldn't he have squared Silversmith?
No. Apparently, he's one of those fellows who can't be squared, a man of very rigid principles.
Well, every man has his price.
Not Jeeves's Uncle Charlie. My gosh, Bertie, what a lad. He received me when I arrived, all 16 stone of him, and my bones turned to water. That large, bald head, those pale, protruding gooseberry eyes. He's the living image of some of those old pros who used to give me such a hell of a time when I first went on the stage. If it hadn't been for Queenie leading me from the presence and buoying me up with a quick cooking sherry, I might have swooned in my tracks.
Who's Queenie?
Haven't you met her? The parlour-maid, delightful girl, engaged to the village policeman, a fellow named Dobbs. Do you ever taste his cooking sherry, Bertie? Odd stuff.
It is no time for desultory chit-chat about cooking sherry, Catsmeet. Let us return to the nub. What are you doing here? I can understand Jeeves's reasons for backing out, but I can't see why you had to come.
You can't see why I had to come? To be with Gertrude Winkworth, of course. I want her to elope with me, so it's vital I should be on the spot, pleading with her, reasoning with her, trying to break down her sales resistance. You've nothing against my being here, have you?
Well,
So, you have some far-fetched objection to the scheme, have you? You don't want me to win the girl I love.
of course I want you to win the valley girl you love.
Well, I can't do it by mail.
All right, all right. Have you seen her?
Gertrude? Yes, just before I came up here. I was in the hall and she suddenly appeared from the drawing room.
I suppose she was surprised to see you dressed like that.
Surprised is right. She swayed and tottered. Queenie said, "Oh, miss, are you ill?" and rushed off to get sal volatile.
Oh, Queenie was there.
Yes, Queenie was there with her hair in a braid. She'd just been telling me how worried she was about the spiritual outlook of her betrothed. He's an atheist, you see, and every time she tries to make him see the light, he just twirls his moustache and quotes Colonel Robert G. Ingersoll at her. This upsets the poor girl.
She's very pretty.
Oh, extraordinarily pretty. I don't remember ever having seen a prettier parlour-maid.
Gertrude, not Queenie.
Oh, Gertrude. Well, dash it, you don't need to tell me that. She's the top. She begins where Helen of Troy left off.
In sharp contradistinction to her mother, I may say.
Which is she? I've seen about 300 aunts so far, all of early Victorian vintage, but I've no idea which is which.
Look out for the rugged light heavyweight with a touch of Wallace Beery in her makeup. That's Dame Daphne Winkworth.
Oh, her. Good Lord. Now, Bertie, one other thing of the utmost importance. You remember I told you that snake in the grass, Esmond Haddock, was giving Gertrude the rush of a lifetime? Well, it's coming to a head.
Oh, yes?
Don't say, "Oh, death," in that horribly casual way. I hope you haven't weakened. You're still in your splendid, resolute frame of mind of yesterday. I can rely on you to foil and baffle this foul blot.
I like Esmond Haddock.
Then you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
It's all right, Catsmeet. You can simmer down. Gertrude Winkworth means nothing to Esmond Haddock. He's not really pursuing her with his addresses.
He's not.
No. All that stuff is just to make Corky jealous.
What?
I had it from his own lips. We got Métier over the port. Corky is still the lodestar of his life. You may be her brother, but you had your facts all twisted. Esmond didn't give Corky the brush-off. She gave him the brush-off because of his aunt fixation. And all this rushing Gertrude is just a ruse to bring her round, so you can cease to regard him as a menace.
Is this official?
Absolutely.
You say Corky is still the lodestar of his life?
That's what he told me.
Whoopee! My gosh, Bertie, you've taken a weight off my mind.
I thought you'd be pleased.
You bet I'm pleased. Well, good night. You're off? Yes, I shall leave you now, much as I enjoy your company, because I have man's work to do elsewhere. When I was chatting with Queenie, she happened to mention that she knows where Uncle Charlie keeps the key to the cellar. So long. I shall hope to see more of you later.
But, Catsmeet, you're not going to leave me here on my own.
Why not?
Well, dash it, here I am serving an indeterminate sentence in this valley place with no one to comfort me.
Bertie?
Yes?
Good night.
But, Catsmeet!
Good night.
What? Dash the fellow. Just before I at last got to sleep that night, I thought I heard the front door bell ring and a murmur of off-stage voices which seemed to indicate that another guest had blown in after closing time. And so when the silversmith brought me my tea ration the next AM, I inquired who this might be. He replied that it was a Mr. Wooster. And before I could ask him what the devil he was talking about, he disappeared, leaving not a rap behind. I could make nothing of it. Mr. Wooster, the man had said. And the only explanation which seemed to offer itself was that I'd recently been in the presence of a butler who'd been having a couple. And yet it's a very frivolous butler who gets a load on before 9 in the morning. And if there was one thing that Uncle Charlie wasn't, I felt, it was frivolous. You could imagine little Lord Fauntleroy getting a skinful, but not Silversmith. And yet he had unquestionably said Mr. Wooster. I was still pondering like Billy-O and nowhere near spiking a plausible solution to this mystery when the door opened and what I at first took to be the ghost of Jeeves entered, carrying a breakfast tray. I upset my tea, and then the scent of bacon floated to the nostrils, and feeling that it was improbable that a wraith would be horsing about the place with dishes of eggs and beans, I calmed down a bit and was able to utter, Jeeves?
Good morning, sir. I fancied that you would possibly wish to enjoy your breakfast in the privacy of your apartment, rather than make one of the party in the dining room.
Oh, thanks, yes, absolutely. A kindly gesture, Jeeves. No doubt it's standing room only for aunts down there.
Yes, sir.
One of them deaf, one of them dotty, one of them Dame Daphne Winkworth, and all of them totally unfit for human consumption on an empty stomach.
Precisely, sir.
Golly. And Silversmith, too?
Sir?
Does Silversmith minister to the revellers at the morning meal?
Oh, yes, sir.
My God, what a man, Jeeves.
Sir?
Your Uncle Charlie.
Ah, yes, sir. A forceful personality.
Huh. Forceful is correct. What's that thing of Shakespeare's about someone having an eye like mother's?
An eye like Mars. To threaten and command is possibly the quotation for which you are groping, sir?
That's right. Mars. And he takes me right back to the days when I was starting out as a flaneur and man about town, Jeeves, and used to feel very young and bulbous when butlers opened front doors to me.
Indeed, sir?
Oh, yes. Of course, I take such fauna in my stride now, as a rule, but your Uncle Charlie is something special. You really call him Uncle Charlie?
Yes, sir.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. To me, to think of him as Uncle Charlie is like thinking of him as Jimmy or Reggie. Or, for the matter of that, Bertie. Used he, in your younger days, to dandle you on his knee?
Quite frequently, sir.
And you didn't quail? You must have been a child of blood and iron. Fine word. Good. Extraordinarily good bacon, this Jeeves.
Home cured, I understand.
And made, no doubt, from contented pigs. Kippers, too, not to mention toast, marmalade, and unless my senses deceive me, an apple. Say what you will of Deverill Hall, its hospitality is lavish. I don't know if you've ever noticed it, Jeeves, but a good spirited kipper first thing in the morning seems to put heart into you.
Very true, sir, though I myself am more partial to a slice of ham.
Oh, indeed. Well, there's much to be said on both sides, of course. Oh, by the way, Jeeves, I knew there was something I wanted to ask you.
Sir?
Yes. I can't think how it came to slip my mind. What in the name of everything bloodsome are you doing here?
I fancy that you might possibly be anxious on that point, sir. I was about to volunteer an explanation. I have come here in attendance on Mr. Fink-Nottle.
Mr. Fink-Nottle?
Yes, sir.
But Gussie's not here.
Yes, sir. We arrived at a somewhat late hour last night.
You know it was Gussie to whom Uncle Charlie was referring when he said that Mr. Wooster had punched the time clock? I'm here saying I'm Gussie, and now Gussie has blown in saying he's me?
Precisely, sir. It is a curious and perhaps somewhat complex situation that has been precipitated.
It's a honey, Jeeves.
Yes, sir.
But how the devil did Gussie get out of stir?
The magistrate decided on second thoughts to substitute a fine for the prison sentence, sir.
What made him do that?
Possibly the reflection that the quality of mercy is not strained, sir.
You mean it droppeth as a gentle rain from heaven?
Precisely, sir, upon the place beneath. His worship would no doubt have taken into consideration the fact that it blesseth him that gives and him that takes and becomes the throned monarch better than his crown.
Yes, no doubt. What did he soak him? 5 quid?
Yes,
And Gussie brassed up and was free?
Yes, sir.
And then you scooped him in and brought him to Deverill Hall?
Yes, sir.
Why, eh? Why?
It was the only course to pursue, sir. On the one hand, her ladyship, your aunt, was most emphatic in her desire that you should visit the hall, and on the other, Miss Bassett was equally insistent on Mr. Fink-Nottle doing so. In the event of either of you failing to arrive, inquiries would have been instituted with disastrous results. To take but one aspect of the matter, sir, Miss Bassett is expecting to receive daily letters from Mr. Fink-Nottle, giving her all the gossip of the hall and describing in detail his life here. These will, of course, have to be written on the hall notepaper and postmarked King Deverill.
True. You speak sooth, Jeeves. I never thought of that.
No, sir.
You know, all this complex stuff could have been perfectly easily avoided if only the beak had had the sense to find Gussie in the first place.
Exceedingly true, sir.
I've said it before, Jeeves, and I'll say it again. All magistrates are asses. Show me a magistrate, and I'll show you a fathead.
There is much in what you say, sir.
So here we are.
Yes, sir.
I'm Gussie, and Gussie is me.
Yes, sir.
And ceaseless vigilance will be required if we are not to gum the game. We shall be walking on eggshells.
A very trenchant figure, sir.
Well, I suppose it had to be. But lay off the Marcus Aurelius stuff, Jeeves, because I don't think I can stand it if you talk about it all being part of the great wisdom.
Very good.
How's Gussie taking it?
Not blithely, sir. I should describe him as disgruntled. He is somewhat exercised in his mind by what he has heard the ladies of the hall saying with regard to your behavior, if I may use the expression, yesterday evening, sir.
The port, you mean?
Yes, sir.
And hello, hunting we will go.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm afraid I haven't given Gussie a very good send-off. Quite inadvertently, I fear I've established him in the eyes of mine hostesses as one of those whited sepulchres which try to kid the public that they drink nothing but orange juice. And the moment that public's back is turned, start doing the lost weekend stuff with the port.
Yes, sir. And there is also the matter of the dog, sir.
Dog?
Miss Pirbright's dog, sir, which you were good enough to bring with you to the hall yesterday evening in order to give the young lady time to accustom her uncle to the idea of receiving the quadruped at the vicarage.
Oh, Sam Goldwyn, yes. Silversmith shoved him in the stables for safekeeping.
Yes, sir, but I regret to say the animal escaped.
Really? When?
Shortly after you had retired to your room yesterday evening, sir. According to my Uncle Charlie, the beast broke loose from its tether and invaded the drawing room via the French windows which had been left open on account of the clemency of the weather. It appears that the creature then proceeded to leap upon Miss Charlotte Deverill's back and to chase her about the room.
Golly gee.
Yes.
Poor old self.
Yes.
Of course, one feels bound to point out that this has come more or less as a judgment on her, Jeeves.
Yes, sir?
Well, for writing all that hello, hunting we will go stuff, Esmond Haddock's going to sing at the concert. Aunt Charlotte should now be in a position to see the thing from the Fox's point of view.
May I continue, sir?
Is there more, Jeeves?
A little, sir. My Uncle Charlie informs me that when the ladies rang for him to remove the cur from the room, the mammal bit him.
I say, you're a better man than I am, Gunga Din.
Sir?
Well, just that I wouldn't bite Silversmith myself to please a dying grandmother, Jeeves.
No, sir. Eventually, my Uncle Charlie succeeded in overpowering the vertebrate, sir, and on being informed that it belonged to the vicarage, had it dispatched thither without delay.
I see. So that's another black mark against Gussie's name.
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, let's hope they'll keep it all under their hats, not pass it along to Madeline Bassett. I don't want spanners bunged into Gussie's romance.
No, sir.
No. Talking of romances, I suppose Catsmeat confided in you about his?
Yes, sir.
I thought he would. Amazing the way all these birds come to you and sob out their troubles on your chest.
I find it most gratifying, sir, and am always eager to lend such assistance as may lie within my power.
Did he tell you the stop press news?
Sir?
About Esmond Haddock and Corky?
Yes, sir. He informed me of what you had said to him with reference to Mr. Haddock's unswerving devotion to Miss Pirbright. He appeared greatly relieved. He feels that the principal obstacle to his happiness has now been removed.
Yes, cat's meat sitting pretty. One wishes one could say the same thing of poor old Esmond.
Do you think that Miss Pirbright does not reciprocate Mr. Haddock's sentiments?
Oh, she reciprocates them all right, Jeeves, but there's a snag. The trouble is she refuses to consider the idea of hitching up with him unless he defies his aunt. And he very naturally gets the vapors at the mere idea.
Why does the young lady wish Mr. Haddock to defy his aunts, sir?
She says he's allowed them to oppress him from childhood, and it's time he threw off the yoke. She wants him to show her he's a man of intrepid courage. It's the old dragon gag. In the days when knights were bold, as you probably know, girls used to hound fellows into going out and fighting dragons.
So I have been informed.
Unfortunately, dragons are one thing, and aunts are another. And there isn't the remotest chance of Esmond Haddock ever standing up to Dame Daphne Wentworth and the Misses Charlotte, Emmeline, Harriet, and Myrtle Deverill.
I wonder, sir...
What do you mean, you wonder, Jeeves?
It crossed my mind as a possibility, sir, that were Mr. Haddock's performance at the forthcoming concert to be a success, his attitude towards his relatives might become more resolute. I have not myself had the opportunity of studying the young gentleman's psychology, but from what my Uncle Charlie tells me, I am convinced that he is one of those gentlemen on whom popular acclamation might have sensational effects. Mr. Haddock's has been, as you say, a repressed life, and he has, no doubt, a very marked inferiority complex. The cheers of the multitude frequently act like a powerful drug upon young gentlemen with inferiority complexes.
You mean if he makes a hit, he will get it up his nose to such an extent that he will be able to look his aunts in the eye and make them wilt?
Precisely, sir.
I believe you've got something there, Jeeves.
At least the theory which I have advanced is a tenable one, sir.
It's more than tenable. It's a pip. Then what we've got to do is strain every nerve to see he makes a hit. What are those things people have? Opera singers and people like that.
You mean a clerk, sir?
That's right. The word was on the tip of my tongue. He must be provided with a
clerk, sir?
With a clerk, yes. It will be your task, Jeeves, to move about the village, dropping a word here, standing a beer there, till the whole community is impressed with the necessity of cheering Esmond Haddock's song till their eyes bubble. I can leave this to you?
Certainly, sir. I will attend to the matter.
Fine. And I suppose I ought to be getting up and seeing Gussy. There are probably one or two points he will want to discuss. Is there a ruined mill around here?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh. Well, any landmark where you could tell him to meet me. I don't want to have to roam the house and grounds looking for him.
I quite understand, sir. I would suggest that I arrange with Mr. Fink-Nottle to meet you in, say, an hour's time outside the local post office.
Right. Outside the post office in an hour or 60 minutes. And now, Jeeves, if you'll be so good as to turn it on. The refreshing bath.
Very good, sir.
Some 3/4 of an hour later, I was hoofing along what King's Deverill was pleased to call its High Street, when the door of one of the picturesque cottages which lined that thoroughfare opened, and Catsmeat's sister, Cora Pirbright, emerged, carrying an empty tureen. Clearly, in pursuance of her policy of being the little mother to her uncle, the sainted Sidney, Corky had been taking a bowl of strengthening soup to one of his needy parishioners. I was delighted to see the young shrimp, not just because she distinctly took the eye, though, as always, she did that, and in heaping measure, but also because I wished to have words with her in her capacity as impresario of the village concert. Much to my regret, I'd come to the conclusion that I would have to withdraw from the Pat and Mike knockabout crosstalk act for which I'd been engaged, and heaving alongside her, I was beginning to explain why, when I realized she wasn't listening to me. Girls seldom do listen to me, I've noticed. Her face, I might add, was drawn, and a frown marred the alabaster purity of her brow.
I wouldn't have believed, Bertie, that anybody except Luella Parsons and Hedda Hopper could be such an authority on the film world as Mrs. Clara Wellbeloved. I'm sure the only reason she drinks my soup is so she can talk about Hollywood.
Corky?
Would you believe she knows more about it than I do? And I've been moving in celluloid circles 2 years come Lammas Eve.
Corky?
She knows exactly how many times everybody's been divorced and why, how much every picture for the last 20 years has grossed, and how many Warner Brothers there are.
Corky?
A very remarkable old lady, Bertie, but a bit exhausting after an hour or so. I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
Yes, I did.
Well, why don't you?
Because young C. Purbright, you won't let me get a bally word in edgeways.
Oh, have I been talking? I'm so sorry. What's on your mind, my king?
Well, for a start, this village concert.
Ah, yes. No doubt you want to know who's playing opposite you in the Pattern Night crosstalk act.
No,
An artiste by the name of Dobbs, Bertie. Police Constable Dobbs, the local robber, to be precise. And in this connection, there is one thing I want to impress upon you with all the emphasis at my disposal. When shocking Constable Dobbs with your umbrella at the points where the script calls for it, don't pull your punches. Let the uncouth bluebottle have it with every ounce of wrist and muscle. I want to see him come off that stage a mass of confusion.
Corky,
He's the village atheist, you see, Bertie, and the thorn in my poor old Uncle Sidney's flesh. He pops out at him from side streets and makes offensive cracks about Jonah and the whale.
Yes, Catmeat said...
So this crosstalk act has been sent from heaven, you see. I mean, in ordinary life, you get so few opportunities for socking cops with umbrellas. And if ever a cop needed the treatment, it is Ernest Dobbs. When he isn't smirching Jonah and the whale with his low sneers, he's asking Uncle Sidney where Cain got his wife. You can't say that sort of thing is pleasant for a sensitive vicar. So shoe to the line, my poppet. Let the chips fall where they may.
Corky!
Yes?
I can't do it.
What do you mean?
I've been trying to tell you for the past 5 minutes. I'm handing in my portfolio as Pat.
You're walking out on the act?
Yes, now listen, dash it, while I explain. How do you think a romantic girl like Madeline Bassett would react if she learned that her lover, the pure and spiritual Gussie Fink-Nottle, had been going about in a green beard, socking policemen with umbrellas?
I've no idea.
Well, I have. She would be revolted to the depths of her soul, and the engagement would blow a fuse on the spot. And so, since at the moment I am Gussie, I have no option but to resign.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Good. I'm glad you understand. However, Corky, do not despair. I have the very substitute for you, viz. Gussie himself.
I thought he was doing 14 days without the option.
No, he's been released and is now in residence at the Hall under the name of Bertie Wooster.
Golly. Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's fine then. Are you likely to be seeing Mr. Fink-Nottle in the near future?
I'm on my way to meet him now.
Oh, come over to the car then. I'll give you a script for him. And then I really must buzz off back to the vicarage. I want to take Sam Goldwyn for his constitutional. Here you are, Bertie.
Oh, thanks. One other thing, Corky, before you go.
What?
Esmond Haddock.
Yes. Is he still swarming round Gertrude Winkworth?
Corky, you're a chump. You've got a completely wrong angle on this Haddock. Far from being enamoured of Gertrude Winkworth, I don't suppose he'd care, except in a distant cousinly way, if she choked on a fishbone. You are the lodestar of his life.
What?
I had it direct from his personal lips last night. He was a bit pickled at the time, which makes it all the more impressive, because in vino, what's the word?
He said I was the lodestar of his life.
With a still in front of the lodestar, yes.
Bertie, if you're kidding us...
Of course I'm not. He also informed me that the only reason he'd been making Gertrude Winkworth the plaything of an idle hour is to make you jealous.
Really? Oh, that's just the sort of thing he would think of. Bless him. What a woolly lambkin that man is.
Woolly lambkin? A fellow with a 46-inch chest?
Yes. Oh, if only he'd stop curling up like carbon paper in front of those aunts of his.
Ah, yes, now, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, Corky. The above Haddock is singing a hunting song at the concert, words by his Aunt Charlotte, music by his Aunt Myrtle. You don't dispute that?
No, but...
Now, listen, will you? And stop behaving like a Wednesday matinee audience. Suppose Esmond's hunting song is a smackerino.
Suppose it is.
Well, the cheers of the multitude frequently act like a powerful drug on birds like E. Haddock, who have inferiority complexes. Rouse such birds by, for instance, whistling through your fingers and yelling, beast, beast, when they sing hunting songs, and they become changed men. Their morale stiffens, their tails shoot up like rockets. They find themselves regarding the tough eggs, before whom they have always been accustomed to crawl, as less than the dust beneath their chariot wheels. If Esmond Haddock goes with anything like a bang, I guarantee it won't be long before those aunts of his will be climbing trees and pulling them up after them whenever he looks squiggle-eyed at them.
I believe you're right, Bertie.
Jeeves' theory, not mine.
I believe Jeeves is right, then.
Well, of course Jeeves is right. Jeeves is always right. And it's happened before, of course.
Huh?
Do you know Bingo Little?
Well, just to say hello to. He married some sort of female novelist, didn't he?
Rosie N. Banks, yes, and their union was blessed. In due course, a bouncing baby was added to the strength, Keep your eye on that baby, for the plot centers around it.
I'm all ears.
Well, since you last saw Bingo, Mrs. Bingo, by using her substantial pull, secured for him the post of editor of Wee Tops, a journal for the nursery and the home. A very good job in most respects, but with this flaw, that the salary attached to it was not all it might have been. See?
Yes, I follow you.
Well done. Well, week after week, therefore, he would creep into the presence of the proprietor, P.P. Perkis, and try to stick him for a raise, only to have the blighter gaze at him with fishy eyes and talk about the tightness of money and the growing cost of pulp paper. And Bingo would say, "Oh, quite right, Mr. Perkis," and "I see, Mr. Perkis, yes, I see," and creep out again. That's Act 1.
But mark the sequel.
You're right, mark the sequel. Came a day when Bingo's bouncing baby entered in a baby contest against some of the warmest competition in South Kensington, scooped in the first prize.
Good for him.
And the next morning, Bingo, with a strange light on his face, strode into P.P. Perkis's private office without knocking, banged on the desk with his fist, and said he wished to see another 10 fish in his pay envelope from now on.
What happened then?
P.P. Perkis sagged like a wet sock and said, "Why, yes, of course, most certainly, Mr. Little," adding that he had been on the point of suggesting some such idea himself. Well, I mean, that shows you what?
Golly, yes, Bertie, it certainly does.
Quite. So all we need for Esmond is what is known as a clack, to provide thunderous applause and adequate cheering to the rafters, and it's in the bag. I've authorized Jeeves to scatter beers round the village to ensure this, but you can help in that direction too.
Well, of course I can. My standing here is terrific. I have the place in my pocket. Look, I must get after this right away, Bertie. I can't wait. Do you mind if I leave you now?
No, thing. You are dismissed, for I too must depart and seek out Augustus Fink-Nottle. Toodle-pip, Corky.
Cheerio.
And so saying, she leapt into her two-seater, clapped spurs to it, and vanished over the horizon at a high rate of MPH, leaving me, as I continued my walk to the post office, with something approaching a light heart. A Wooster is always backed up, even if only temporarily, by the thought that he has been instrumental in re-sunshining a pal's life. When I got to the tryst, about 5 minutes behind scheduled time, I found Gussie already on the strength. Jeeves, in speaking of this Fink-Nottle, had, if you remember, described him as disgruntled, and it was plain at a glance that the passage of time had done nothing to gruntle him. The eyes behind their horn-rimmed spectacles were burning with fury and resentment and all that sort of thing. He looked like a peevish halibut. In moments of emotion, Gussie's resemblance to a marine monster always becomes accentuated. It seemed to me that a cheery, pep-giving word would be in order.
What ho, what ho, what ho, what ho? Aha! This is a pretty state of things, Wooster.
Yes, indeed, pretty without a shadow of D. But tails up, Gussie, old egg. Storm clouds may lower and whatnot, but you're better off here than you would be in a dungeon with a platoon of resident rats, eh?
No, I entirely disagree with you. I would greatly have preferred prison. When you're in prison, you don't have people calling you Wooster. How do you suppose I feel, knowing that everybody thinks I'm you?
What? But dash it, how do you suppose I feel, knowing that everybody here thinks you're me?
I don't know if you're aware, Wooster, what your reputation is in these parts. In case you are under any illusions, let me inform you that your name is Mud. Those women at breakfast were drawing their skirts away as I passed. They shivered when I spoke to them. From time to time, I would catch them looking at me in a way that would have wounded a smash-and-grab man. And as if that wasn't enough, you seem in a single evening to have made my name Mud, too. What's all this I hear about you getting tight last night and singing hunting songs?
I didn't get tight, Gussie, just pleasantly mellowed. And I sang hunting songs because my host seemed to wish it. One has to humour one's host. So they mentioned that, did they?
They mentioned it, all right. It was the chief topic of conversation at the breakfast table. And what's going to happen if they report it to Madeline, may I ask?
I advise stout denial.
It wouldn't work.
But it might. After all, what can they prove?
Madeline's godmother said she came into the dining room and found you on a chair, waving a decanter.
True, we concede that. But who is to say that the decanter was not emptied exclusively by Esmond Haddock?
Perhaps you're right. All the same, I wish you'd be more careful. The whole thing has been most annoying and upsetting.
Still, it's part of the great web, what?
Great web?
One of Marcus Aurelius's cracks. He said, "Does aught befall you, it is good. It is part of the destiny of the universe ordained for you from the beginning. All that befalls you is part of the great web."
Damn Marcus Aurelius, Bertie.
Oh, righto.
Blast Marcus Aurelius.
Oh, yes.
Damn blast, damn blasting.
Oh, absolutely.
Damn and blasting Bertie 1,000 times. Damn.
Quite, Gussie, quite. Now, about the concert, Gussie.
Yes?
Well, the fact of the matter is, because you're now me and I'm you, we want you to take part in the crosstalk act.
What crosstalk act?
Cat's Meats, the one he wrote.
Pirbright, that hellhound, that fiend in human shape, that preeminent toad, I'll do nothing of the kind. It was Pirbright who forced me to wade in a Trafalgar Square fountain, Wooster. The only thing I'll do for Pirbright with pleasure is disembowel him with a blunt bread knife.
Now, wait a minute, Gussie. No one's asking you to do it for Cat's Meat. It's Cat's Meat's sister, Miss Pirbright, you know, who's impresarioing this concert. I was to have played Pat in the crosstalk act, but owing to the changed circs, we now want you to sustain the role.
Do you? Well, we'll see about that. What the devil is this damn thing?
Well, have you seen it? Pongo Twistleton and Barmy Fitz do it every year at the Drone Smoker.
I'd never go to the Drone Smoker.
Oh. Well, it's, well, how shall I put it? It's something in the nature of a crosstalk act. The principals are a couple of Irishmen named Pat and Mike. That's you and Police Constable Dobbs. And they come on, but I have a script here. If you glance through it, you'll get the idea.
And you say Pirbright wrote this? Yes. I might have guessed it. The thing is absolutely drivel. It has no dramatic coherence. It lacks motivation and significant form. Who are these two men supposed to be?
I told you. A couple of Irishmen named Pat and Mike.
Well, perhaps you can explain what their social position is, for it's frankly beyond me. But Pat, for instance, appears to move in the very highest circles, for he describes himself as dining at Buckingham Palace, and yet his wife takes in lodgers.
Oh, I see what you mean. Odd.
Inexplicable. Is it credible that a man of his class would be invited to dinner at Buckingham Palace, especially as he is apparently completely without social savoir-faire? At this dinner party to which he alludes, he relates how the Queen asked him if he would like some mulligatawny, and he, thinking there was nothing else coming, had 6 helpings, with the result that, to quote his own words, he spent the rest of the evening sitting in a corner full of soup. And in describing the incident, he prefaces his remarks at several points with the expressions begorra and faith and begob. Irishmen don't talk like that. Irishmen are poets. They say things like, an evening like this, it makes me wish I was back in County Clare, watching the cows and the tall grass.
Do they?
Here's another bit of incoherent raving. My sisters in the ballet. You say your sisters in the ballet? Yes, begorra. My sisters in the ballet. What does your sister do in the ballet? She comes rushing in, and then she goes rushing out. What does she have to rush like that for? Faith and begob, because it's a Russian ballet. Well, it simply doesn't make sense. And now we come to something else that is quite beyond me. The word bus. After the line, because it's a Russian ballet, and in other places throughout the script, the word bus in brackets occurs. It conveys nothing to me. Can you explain it?
Oh, rather, yes. It's short for business. That's where you hit Mike with your umbrella. To show the audience there's been a joke, you see.
Are these things jokes?
Yes.
I see. Well, of course, that throws a different light on it. Wait a moment. Did you say that I am supposed to strike my colleague with an umbrella?
That's right.
And did I hear you say that he was a policeman?
That's it. Dobbs, the local rozzer.
The whole thing is impossible and utterly out of the question. Have you any idea what happens when you hit a policeman with an umbrella? I did so on emerging from the fountain in Trafalgar Square, and I certainly do not intend to do it again.
But, Gussie...
Let me put you quite straight, Wooster, as to what my stand is in this matter. I shall not say begorra. I shall not say faith and begob. I shall not assault policemen with an umbrella. In short, I absolutely and positively refuse to have the slightest association with this degraded buffoonery. Wait till I meet Miss Pirbright. I'll tell her a thing or two. I'll show her she can't play fast and loose with human dignity like this.
Here she comes now.
Eh? Oh.
quite. Hello, Corky.
Hello, Bertie.
No, Sam, stop. Gussie, I don't think you...
Oh, it's this, Mr. Fink-Nottle. How do you do, Mr. Fink-Nottle? I'm so glad to see you, Mr. Fink-Nottle. How lucky meeting you. I wanted to talk to you about the act.
Yes? We've just been having a word or two on that subject, Corky. Gussie's kicking a bit about playing Pat.
Oh, no.
Yes. I thought you might like to reason with him. I'll, leave you to it, what? Here. And pausing only to disentangle myself from the cheese hound, who was doing his best to strop his tongue on my face, I left her to it and drift off. Looking around as I turned the corner, I saw that she had attached herself with one slim hand to the lapel of Gussie's coat, and with the other was making wide, appealing gestures, indicating to the most vapid and irreflective observer that she was giving him treatment A. Well pleased, therefore, I made my way back to the hall, keeping an eye skinned for prowling aunts, and won through without disaster to my room. I was enjoying a thoughtful smoke there about half an hour later when Gussie came in, and I could see right away that this was not the morose, sullen Fink-Nottle I had just left. Admittedly, he was still an undersized gargoyle who looked like Lester the Pester in that comic strip in one of the New York papers, but his bearing was buoyant. His face glowed. He radiated smugness. In fine, 20 minutes in Corky society had turned him from a blameless newt fancier into as pronounced a ham as ever drank small ports in bodegas and called people laddie. For half a jiffy, indeed, I thought he was going to address me as laddie.
I say, Bertie, why didn't you tell me that Miss Pirbright was Cora Starr, the film actress? I've long been one of her warmest admirers. What a delightful girl, is she not? And how unlike her brother, whom I consider and always shall consider England's leading louse. She's made me see this crosstalk act in an entirely new light.
I thought he might.
It's extraordinary that a girl as pretty as that should also have a razor-keen intelligence. And that amazing way of putting her arguments with a crystal clarity, which convinces you in an instant that she's right in every respect.
Yes, Corky's a persuasive young gumboil.
I would prefer you not to speak of her as a gumboil, Wooster. Corky, eh? That's what you call her, is it? A charming name.
What was the outcome of the conference? Are you going to do the act?
Oh, yes, it's all settled. She overcame my objections entirely. We ran through the script after you left us, and she quite brought me round to her view that there is nothing in the least degrading in this simple, wholesome form of humour. Hokum, yes, but as she pointed out, good theatre. She is convinced that I shall go over big.
Oh, you'll knock 'em cold. I'm sorry I can't play Pat myself.
A good thing, probably. I doubt if you're the type.
Of course I'm the type. I should have given a sensational performance.
Corky thinks not. She was telling me how thankful she was that you had stepped out and I had taken over. She said the part wants broad, robust treatment, and you would have played it too far down. It's a part that calls for personality and the most precise timing. And she said that the moment she saw me, she felt that here was the ideal Pat. Girls with her experience can tell in a second.
Oh, quite. And may I ask, how about Dobbs?
Eh?
When last heard from, you were a bit agitated at the prospect of having to slosh Police Constable Dobbs with your umbrella.
Oh, Dobbs. He's out. He's been given his notice. He came along when we were rehearsing and started to read Mike's lines, but he was hopeless. No technique, no personality. And he wouldn't take direction, kept arguing every point with the management, until finally Corky got heated and began raising her voice, and he got heated and began raising his voice, and the upshot was that that dog of hers, excited no doubt by the uproar, bit him in the leg.
Good Lord.
Yes. It created an unpleasant atmosphere. Corky put the animal's case extremely well, but Dobbs refused to accept her view that the offence was one calling for a mere reprimand. He took the creature into custody and is keeping it at the police station until he has been able to ascertain whether this was his first bite. Apparently, a dog that's had only one bite is in a strong position legally.
Sam Gerwin bit Silversmith last night.
Did he? Well, if that comes out, I'm afraid counsel for the prosecution will have a talking point. But to go on with my story. Corky, incensed, and quite rightly, by Dobbs's intransigent attitude, threw him out of the act, and he's getting her brother to play the part. I am looking forward to having Pirbright as a partner. I can think of few men whom it would give me more genuine pleasure to hit with an umbrella. Yes, but I can't stay here talking. Corky has asked me to lunch at the vicarage. Must be getting along. I just looked in to give you these poems.
These what?
These Christopher Robin poems here.
What's this for?
You'll recite them at the concert. The ones marked with a cross. I was to have done them, Madeline making a great point of it. You know how fond she is of the Christopher Robin poems. But now, of course, we have switched acts. But I don't mind telling you, I feel extremely relieved. There's one about the little blighter going hoppity, hoppity, hop, which, as I say, I feel extremely relieved.
But dash it!
Oh, it's no good saying, but dash it. I think I didn't say but dash it when she forced those nauseous productions on me. You've got to do them. She insists. The first thing she'll want to know is how they went.
But the tough eggs at the back of the back row will rush the stage and lynch me.
I shouldn't wonder. Still, you've got the consolation.
What's that?
The thought that all that befalls you is part of the great web. Cheerio, Bertie.
Hoppity, hoppity, hop. Oh, Lord.
In that episode, the parts were played as follows. Jeeves, Michael Horden, Bertie, Richard Bryars, Corky Pirbright, Joe Kendall, Catsmeet Pirbright, Kenneth Fortescue, Gussie Fink-Nottle, David Valance. The episode was adapted for radio by Chris Miller from the book The Mating Season by P.G. Wodehouse. The program was produced by Peter Titheridge. We present What Ho Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. Starring Michael Horden as Jeeves and Richard Bryars as Bertie Wooster. From the book The Mating Season, Episode 3, Amorousness of a Newt Fancier.
Since that evening, the previous summer, when Madeline Bassett, the sloppiest, mushiest, sentimentalist God helpers who ever thought the stars were God's daisy chain, had told me that if she ever found her betrothed, Gussie Fink-Nottle, was not the rare, stainless soul she believed him, she would scratch his nomination and sign up with me, my whole foreign policy had been directed towards avoiding such a frightful disaster. And so when Gussie was jugged for wading in the Trafalgar Square fountain one night in search of newts, rather than let the grisly truth leak out, I checked in at Deverill Hall, Hants, home of Dame Daphne Winkworth, the Bassett's godmother, in his stead. The next day, Gussie himself, unexpectedly released by the beak, also turned up, giving his name as Bertram Wooster, and from then on, life at Deverill became nothing short of scaly. It was bad enough to be trapped in a den of slavering aunts, lashing their tails and glaring at me out of their red eyes. It degraded the spirit to answer to the name of Augustus, that being to my mind about the ultimate low in names. But what really started to remove the stiffening from the Wooster upper lip after a day or so was the sinister behavior of the above Fink-Nottle. Reckless of the fact that there existed at the Larches, Wimbledon Common, a girl to whom he had plighted his troth, it rapidly became apparent that he had fallen for Catsmeat's sister, Corky Pirbright, like a ton of bricks. And I wasn't the only one who noticed it. 5 solid aunts had noticed it too. I was executing a quiet sneak through the rose garden on the Tuesday afternoon when Dame Daphne Winkworth hailed me from afar.
Come here, Augusta.
What? Oh, yes. Hello. Doing the local green fly a bit of no good, what? Squirting the rose trees?
Don't talk to me about rose trees.
Oh, no, rather not, no. I didn't particularly want to, actually.
What is this I hear?
I beg your pardon?
You would do better to beg Madeline's.
Eh?
When I was in the house just now, a telegram arrived for you from Madeline. It was telephoned, and as I was passing through the hall when the bell rang, I took it down.
Frightfully white of you.
Madeline says she has not received a single letter from you since you arrived here, and she wishes to know why. She is greatly distressed at your abominable neglect, and I am not surprised. I have no words to express what I think of your heartless behavior. That is all, Augustus. That is all, Augustus.
That's it, Gussie. Wait till I...
Augustus?
Yes?
Are you not going straight back to the house to write to Madeline?
No. That is, I've got to go into the village, don't you know. I want to have a word with Bertie Wooster.
Is Mr. Wooster a friend of yours?
Oh, yes, rather, yes. Bosom.
I see. Then perhaps you could explain something to me. Why is it that we have seen so little of him at the Hall? He seems to live in Miss Pirbright's pocket down at the vicarage, regarding Deverill Hall as an hotel which he can drop into or stay away from as he feels inclined.
Yes, he does rather, doesn't he?
He does. So, if you should have the exceptional good fortune to see Mr. Wooster, I should be grateful, Augustus, if you would mention to him that I shall be writing to his Aunt Agatha within the next day or two, and would prefer not to feel obliged to inform her that her nephew has fallen into the toils of a Hollywood film actress.
Oh, no, I say, don't do that.
Agatha Worplesdon would not approve of Miss Pirbright.
No, absolutely. Look here, don't write just yet, what? See, I'll have a word with Wooster when I see him.
Very well, Augustus. You may go.
Right-ho, you blasted Fink-Nottle. You now have some bally explaining to do.
Gussie! Eh? Oh, hello, Bertie.
Fink-Nottle, come here. Now, what's all this about you not writing to Madeline?
Madeline?
Madeline.
Oh, Madeline.
Yes, Madeline. Do you realize she started sending telegrams about it? If you're not careful, she'll be down here in person to investigate. And silly asses we'll look if that happens. You must write today without fail.
What, to Madeline?
Yes, blast you to Madeline.
I'll be blown if I write to Madeline. I'm teaching her a lesson. Oh, what? Teaching her a lesson. I'm not at all pleased with Madeline. She wanted me to come to this ghastly house, and I consented on the understanding she came too and gave me moral support. It was a clear-cut gentleman's agreement.
Yes, but all the
And then, at the last moment, she coolly backed out on the flimsy plea that some games-playing school friend called Hilda Dutchin or something had suffered a disappointment in love. So she decided to go to Wimbledon to cheer her up. I was extremely annoyed, I can tell you. So I decided not to write to Madeline to show her she just can't do that sort of thing.
Gussie, once and for all, will you or will you not go straight back to the house and compose an 8-page letter breathing love in every syllable?
No, I won't. And now, Bertie, you must excuse me. Corky has invited me to tea at the vicarage, and I mustn't be late. Cheerio.
But Gussie! Oh, dash the fellow. Dash him. It was a Bertram Wooster with a pale, careworn face and a marked disposition to start at sudden noises, who sat in his bedroom about an hour later, rising occasionally to pace the floor. Few, seeing him, would have recognized in this limp and shivering chunk of human flotsam the suave, dapper boulevardier of happier years. The only thing to do, in my experience, when the morale is being given the sleeve across the windpipe like this, is to get in touch with Jeeves to see what he has to suggest. I had sent him a message, accordingly, via Queenie, the parlour-maid, and I was now waiting in my room for the sterling fellow to manifest himself. Ah, Jeeves, Oh, Catsmeat, dash it, it's you. What are you doing here?
Queenie said you wanted to see me.
You? Jeeves is the fellow I require.
Well, Queenie said you were asking if you're a man. Don't forget, I'm your man at the moment, Bertie. As far as this pest house is concerned, Jeeves is in Gussie's service.
Oh, that's true, yes.
Don't worry. Jeeves will be tooling along in a minute. I told him to rally round, as I guessed it was really him you wanted.
Oh, fine. Incidentally, Catsmeat, since you happen to have raised the subject, where the devil have you been since last Friday?
Eh?
In your capacity as my gentleman's personal gentleman. I mean, dash it, you took on this job of valeting me of your own free will, so you should have been in and out the whole time, brushing here a coat, sponging there a trouser, and generally making yourself useful. Yet I haven't seen you once. One frowns on this absenteeism.
Bertie, I came here to woo Gertrude Winkworth and persuade her to elope with me. Not attend to your blasted wardrobe. A chap can't press his own suit and another fellow's trousers simultaneously. It's too much to ask.
Yes, but
Now, listen, old man, because I've got some good news on that front. Gertrude's showing distinct signs of yielding to my prayers. Don't actually buy the fish slice yet, but be prepared.
Well, that's splendid, Catsmeat. I'm delighted to learn that someone's getting a break. But pigeonholing your love life for the moment, here's Jeeves.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Jeeves. You're just in time for a frightful piece of news, so be prepared to come across with something in the aid and comfort line. F soon's all right speedily.
Very good, sir.
What is it, Bertie?
Only that criminal lunatic Gussy. Mr. Fink-Nottle, Jeeves.
Yes.
What's he been doing?
It's what he's not been doing that's the trouble. He hasn't written a single line to Madeline Bassett since he got here. And what's more, he says he isn't going to teach her a lesson. Well, Jeeves?
This is a very serious situation, sir.
You bet it's serious. I'm shaking like a leaf.
Yes, girls of the Madeline Bassett type attach such importance to the daily letter.
Exactly. And writing same was what Gussy came to this Edgar Allan Poe residence to do in the first place. Damn it, a spot more silence on his part, and La Bassett will come racing down here with her foot in her hand to investigate. And then what? Ruin, desolation, and despair.
Precisely, sir.
I think I know what's behind all this, Bertie. The trouble is that Gussie at the moment is slightly off his rocker. He's in something aided with Corky. What do I mean, Jeeves?
Infatuated, sir.
That's it. What I mean is, Bertie, is that he's got a crush on her.
Well, I know that. So does everybody for miles around. It's the favourite topic of conversation when aunt meets aunt. Only just now, Dame Daphne Winkworth was moaning that Gussie never saw fit to put on a nosebag at the hall, and at lunch Aunt Charlotte said she supposed they ought to consider themselves highly honoured that the pie-faced young bastard condescended to sleep in the bally place. Or worse to that effect.
There has been a certain amount of comment in the servants' hall, too, sir.
I'm not surprised. I'll bet they're discussing the thing in Basingstoke. Gussie lunches, teas, and dines with Corky. He seldom leaves her side. The human poultice, nothing less.
You can't really blame him, of course, Bertie.
Yes, I can.
No, I mean, it isn't his fault, really. This is springtime, the mating season, when, as you probably know, dash it, what happens in springtime, Jeeves?
Sir?
A pigeon comes into it, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yes, sir. In the spring, a livelier iris gleams upon the burnished dove. In the spring, a young man's fancy lightly turns to thoughts of love.
That's right. Don't you see, Bertie? The sudden impact, plumb spang in the middle of spring, of a girl like Corky on a fathead like Gussie, weakened by constantly swilling orange juice, must have been terrific. Corky, when she's going nicely, bowls over the strongest. In my view, the poor gook is more to be pitied than censured.
Yes, I hear what you mean. In fact, she's the one who wants censuring. She encourages him.
No, I don't think she does. He just adheres.
She does encourage him. I've seen her doing it. She flirts with him shamelessly. Don't tell me that a girl like Corky, accustomed to giving Hollywood glamour men the brusheroo, couldn't put Gussie on ice if she wanted to.
But she doesn't.
That's what I'm beating about, Catsmeat. She deliberately turns on the charm and gives him the old personality. Why?
Because she's a woman, I suppose.
Yes. The sooner that sex is suppressed, the better it'll be for all of us, in my view. Yes, Jeeves?
It merely occurred to me, sir, that a possible explanation of Miss Pirbright's indulgence of Mr. Fink-Nottle might be that the young lady wishes to make a gesture towards Mr. Haddock.
You mean she's working this Gussie continuity in order to stick the harpoon into Esmond?
Precisely, sir.
But why? She knows he's goofy over her, and thanks to your idea of
Clark, yes, sir.
Clark, for him at the concert. It's now only a matter of time before he defies his aunts and the sundered hearts are reunited.
Perhaps Miss Pirbright wishes to expedite the process, sir.
It's possible, Jeeves. However, all this is rather by the way. Time is running out and we must do something. The Bassett, to judge from her recent telegram, is on the verge of being fed to the eye teeth due to an acute shortage of letters, while our correspondent on the spot, A. Fink-Nottle, has stated categorically that not a smell of a letter does the girl get until she's learnt her lesson. So what to do, Jeeves?
I would suggest, sir, that if Mr. Fink-Nottle perseveres in his resolve not to correspond with Miss Bassett, the only feasible course of action that will remain will be for you to write to the young lady yourself.
Me?
Yes,
But she doesn't want to hear from me. She wants to hear from Gussy.
certainly, sir. But unfortunately, Mr. Fink-Nottle has sprained his wrist and has been compelled to dictate his letter to you.
But Gussy hasn't sprained his wrist.
If you would be so good as to allow yourself to be guided by me, sir. Mr. Fink-Nottle gave his wrist a nasty wrench while stopping a runaway horse and saving a little child from a hideous death.
Did he? When?
Jeeves, I think I get your drift. Would this be a golden-haired child with blue eyes, pink cheeks, and a lisp?
Very probably, sir.
I think a lisp is good box office.
Extremely good, sir.
Golly, yes, I see what you mean. Jeeves, this is terrific.
Thank you very much, sir.
But Bassett will lap it up. Catsmeat, will you write the thing?
Of course, it'll be pie. I've been writing Gertrude that sort of letter since I was so high.
Right-ho, then. It ought to go off at once, every moment being vital. Will you do it now?
Lead me to pen and paper, Bertie, and the job is as good as done.
As I curled up in bed that night and fell gently into a refreshing sleep, I must say I felt gay, bobbish, and even boomsa-daisy. My heart, for the first time since I had arrived at Deverill Hall the previous Friday, had thrown off its burden of care and was actually doing soft shoe dances. In short, it was as if a great weight had been lifted from my mind. For Catsmeat's letter, which I'd copied out and posted in time to catch the night mail, had been, in a phrase, the goods. And there was no doubt in my mind that it would put the stopper on the Bassett for a considerable time to come. Well, I don't know what your experience has been, but mine is that there's very little percentage in having a weight lifted off your mind, because the first thing you know, another, probably a dash size heavier, is immediately shoved on it. It would appear to be a game you can't beat. At any rate, I'd scarcely opened my eyes the next morning when in blew Jeeves, and there was that in his mere appearance that chilled my merry mood like a slap in the eye with a wet towel. Jeeves's face is always grave, of course, but on this particular morning, he looked like an undertaker with a secret sorrow.
Good morning, sir. Your tea?
Thank you, Jeeves. But I say, what's up, for heaven's sake? Is something wrong?
I regret to have to inform you, sir, that a somewhat serious crisis would appear to have been precipitated in your affairs.
Oh, my sainted aunt.
Precisely, sir.
Eh? What do you mean by that?
It is with regard to Lady Worplesdon, sir.
Aunt Agatha?
Yes, sir.
What about her?
I have just been apprised by my Uncle Charlie, sir, who himself had previously received the intelligence from Dame Daphne Winkworth, that a letter arrived this morning from Lady Worplesdon, your aunt, sir, in which her ladyship announced her intention of visiting Deverill Hall in the very near future.
She's coming here, you mean?
Exactly, sir.
But that's frightful, Jeeves.
Inconvenient, certainly, sir.
Inconvenient? It's not inconvenient. It's a grade A catechism. This is not like you, Jeeves, to fail to appreciate the gravity of the situation. Don't you see? If Aunt Agatha shows up at this ruddy hen coop, it won't take her 2 minutes to spot the umpus bumpus. Hello, she'll say to herself. Why is my nephew Bertram calling himself Gussie Fink-Nottle? And from there to complete shame and exposure will be the shortest of short steps.
I wonder, sir...
I say, Jeeves, you don't mean your great brain has clicked again? You haven't thought of a way out of this mess already?
Well, sir, I have been musing, as is my wont, upon the psychology of the individual.
What individual? My Aunt Agatha?
Her ladyship, yes, sir. I wonder, sir, if you have ever had occasion to steal a cub from a tigress.
No, I haven't.
No, sir. I rather imagined you had not. But were that contingency to arise...
Jeeves, 1 minute. I don't want to interrupt you before you've really gathered steam, but the impression I'm receiving so far is of a salaried attendant talking through the back of his neck.
If I might explain, sir.
Oh, righto.
I'm employing the tiger analogy, sir, merely in order to simplify the presentation of my thesis.
Ah, I see. Yes, well, carry on then.
Thank you, sir. As I was saying, were that contingency to arise, that is to say, of your stealing a cub from a tigress, it is likely, is it not, that the reaction of the tigress, assuming that she were a good and devoted mother, would be one of dismay, tinged perhaps with a certain apprehension.
She'd be as sick as mud, I should think.
Exactly, sir. And is it not also more than probable that the animal, once the loss of its infant had been drawn to its attention, would revise its social plans in order to instigate an immediate search for the offspring?
Yes, I suppose it is. What are you driving at, Jeeves?
It occurred to me, sir, that were her ladyship to learn that Master Thomas, your cousin, had disappeared from his preparatory school at Bramley-on-Sea, she might well feel obliged to cancel her plans for visiting Deverill Hall.
Jeeves?
Sir?
You're not planning to kidnap young Foss from his seaside borstal?
No, sir. I do not consider such drastic measures will be necessary. On the last occasion that Master Thomas was staying in your flat, the young gentleman confided in me that his favorite film actress was Miss Cora Starr, sir.
Corky?
Yes, sir. So I would imagine that were I to inform Master Thomas that Miss Pirbright had invited him to stay at the vicarage here for a few days, there would be, as I believe the expression is, no stopping him.
You're right, Jeeves. Young Foss is a boy of volcanic passions. Right-ho, then. How are we going to organize this operation?
I would suggest, sir, that I repair to Bramley-on-Sea at the earliest possible opportunity today, with the expectation of delivering Master Thomas to the vicarage sometime this evening.
Fine, but half a jiff, isn't Corky going to be at a bit of a loss when he suddenly turns up?
I have already considered that aspect of the matter, sir. I was talking with Mr. Pirbright earlier in the servants' hall, and he undertook to inform Miss Pirbright of the plan, giving it as his opinion that she would approve of it wholeheartedly.
Yes, Corky always approves of anything that seems likely to start something. Very good, Chief. Then I shall look forward to receiving a telegram from you sometime this afternoon bearing the news that stage 1 of Operation Tiger Cub has been successfully accomplished.
Certainly, sir.
I won't breathe freely until I know, Jeeves.
Then the matter shall receive my early attention, sir.
Thank you, Chief.
Not at all, sir.
Catch me.
Hello, Bertie. A couple of telegrams for you.
Ah, good. Oh, but I say, they're addressed to Gussy.
Well, of course they are, but they're for you.
I don't know that, old man.
They must be. You said you were expecting one from Jeeves telling you when the balloon had gone up.
True, but the other may be a tender bobsworth from Madeline. I can't open it.
Oh, Bertie, don't be goofy. Of course you can.
No, Catsmeet. The code of the Woosters restrains me. The code of the Woosters is more rigid than the code of the Catsmeet. A Wooster cannot open a telegram addressed to another, even if for the moment he is that other, if you see what I mean. I'll have to submit them to Gussy.
All right, but I think you're a chump. Now, Bertie, let's talk about something else. Can I borrow your car?
Whatever for?
To take Queenie to the pictures in Basingstoke.
Queenie? The parlourmaid?
Yes, she wants cheering up, poor child. You've heard about her tragedy. She severed her engagement to the flatty Dobbs.
Oh, really? What went wrong?
She didn't like him being an atheist, and he wouldn't stop being an atheist, and finally he said something about Jonah and the whale, which it was impossible for her to overlook. So this morning she returned the ring, his letters, and a china ornament with a present from Blackpool on it, which he bought her last summer while visiting relatives in the north. It's hit her pretty hard, I'm afraid. She's passing through the furnace, so I'd like to slap balm on the wounded spirit if it can be managed.
Oh, righto. Charge ahead then.
Thanks. Oh, it's curious how when you're in love you yearn to go about doing acts of kindness to everybody, isn't it? I'm bursting with a sort of yeasty benevolence these days, like one of those chaps in Dickens. I very nearly bought you a packet of cigarettes in the village this morning.
Hello. Your fingers are twitching, Bertie. Is the code of the Woosters about to spring a leak? Well, you're thinking that the Woosters must be pretty priceless asses to let themselves be ruled by such a code, eh?
Yes, in a way.
Oh, go on, Bertie. Open the damn thing.
Yes, I must know, dash it, I must. Now, let's see. Oh, Lord. Oh, my golly. This one is from the Bassett. And Catsmeet, listen to this. Fink-Nottle, Deverill Hall, King's Deverill, Hants. Letter received. Cannot understand why not had reassuring telegram. Sure you concealing accident terribly serious. Fever, anxiety. Fear worst. Arriving Deverill Hall tomorrow afternoon. Love, kisses, Madeline.
Oh, dear.
Quite.
This will require a little management.
Absolutely.
Of course, for sophisticated handling, we shall have to think it over.
Think it over? Action is what we want, Catsmeet. Sharp, decisive action as dished out by Napoleon.
Well, it'll have to wait anyway.
Wait?
Yes, I must be getting back to Queenie now. We'll deal with this later.
But
you wouldn't want to stand between a poor, heartbroken girl and an afternoon treat at the cinema, would you, Bertie?
Come now. Catsmeet, you know full well that if you went through the West One postal district with a fine tooth comb and a brace of bloodhounds, you wouldn't find more than about 3 men readier than Bertram Wooster to sympathize with a woman's distress. But at the moment I haven't time to mourn over stricken parlourmaids. All the mourning at my disposal is earmarked for Wooster B.
There's no panic, Bertie. Listen, be in your room as soon as possible after dinner, and I will be there with a whole plan of campaign cut and dried. All right?
Well, I suppose so, yes, all right.
Righto, then. Toodle-pip, Bertie.
Toodle-pip. And, of course, it being so vital that we should get together with a minimum of delay, that night turned out to be the one night when it was impossible to take an early powder. Instead of the ordinary dinner, a regular binge had been arranged, with guests from all over the countryside. No fewer than 10 of Hampshire's most prominent stiffs had been summoned to the trough, and they stuck on like limpets. It wasn't till close on midnight that the final car rolled away. And when I bounded to my room, off duty at last, there was no sign of Catsmeet. Jeeves, however, was back on the strength.
Good evening, sir.
Evening, Jeeves. Well, how did it go?
Most satisfactorily, thank you, sir.
Thanks to your telegram, by the way.
Not at all, sir. I delivered Master Thomas to the vicarage earlier this evening, and I have just learnt from my Uncle Charlie that her ladyship, your aunt, has postponed her visit to the hall.
Good. That's excellent. And where's Catsmeet?
Mr. Pirbright has taken your car and gone to London, sir. He asked me to inform you of the fact.
London? Whatever for?
It is the gentleman's intention, I believe, sir, to drive down to Wimbledon Common early tomorrow morning to seek an interview with Miss Bassett.
And?
Sir?
Oh, what's he going to say to her?
I have no idea, sir. I was not privy to the gentleman's plan.
Oh, you mean he didn't confide in you?
Precisely, sir.
That sounds ominous. Well, thanks anyway, Jeeves. You better push off to bed.
Thank you very much, sir. Good night. Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. Mr. Fink-Nottle, sir.
Ah, come in, Gussie. Good night, then, Jeeves.
Good night, sir.
Well, Gussie?
Oh, what a tedious evening, eh, Bertie?
Not too good, no.
And to think I could have been spending all that time with Corky.
Quite. But you couldn't oil out of a big dinner party, could you?
No, that's what Corky said. She said it wouldn't do. Noblesse oblige was one of the expressions she used. Amazing what high principles she has. You don't often find a girl as pretty as that with such high principles. And how pretty she is, isn't she, Bertie? Or rather, when I say pretty, I mean angelically lovely.
Her face wouldn't stop a clock, certainly.
What do you mean it wouldn't stop a clock? She's divine. She's the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. It seems so extraordinary that she should be Pirbright's sister. You would think any sister of Pirbright's would be as repulsive as he is.
I call Catsmeet rather good-looking.
Oh, I disagree with you. He's a hellhound, and it comes out in his appearance. There are newts in that fountain, Gussie, he said to me. Get after them without a second's delay, and wouldn't take no for an answer. Urged me on with sharp hunting cries. Yoicks, he said, and tally-ho. When I came about, Bertie, was to ask if you could lend me that tie of yours with the pink lozenges on the dove-grey background. I shall be dropping in at the vicarage tomorrow morning, and I want to look my best.
It's in the wardrobe.
Oh, thanks. Ah, here it is. Fine. Oh, by the way, Bertie, you remember pestering me to write to Madeline? Well, I've done it. I wrote to her this afternoon.
What?
Yes. But why are you looking like a dying duck? But
Because Catsmeat and I wrote a letter for you yesterday in which we said you had a sprained wrist and couldn't write.
Did you? That's most officious of you, Bertie. Not in the best of taste, if you want my view. However, I suppose it doesn't really matter, because what I said in my letter was that everything was off.
Off?
Yes. I've broken the engagement. I've been feeling for some days now that Madeline, though a nice girl, won't do. My heart belongs to Corky. Well, good night again, Bertie. Thanks for the tie.
But, oh, no. The Larches, Wimbledon Common, was one of those eligible residences which you pass on the left as you drive out of London by way of Putney Hill. And on the following morning, its commodious grounds, in addition to a lawn, a summer house, a pond, flower beds, bushes, and an assortment of trees, also contained one Wooster, noticeably cold about the feet and inclined to rise from 12 to 18 inches skywards every time an early bird gave a cheep over its worm. This Wooster, to whom I allude, had run up from King's Deverill on the 2:54 milk train, and it was his intention, should the feat prove to be within the scope of human power, to intercept and destroy Gussie's letter to Madeline Bassett. And so it was that at 8 o'clock precisely, I could have been seen crouching in a bush hard by the dining-room French windows, watching with bated breath as the housemaid, who had just deposited the morning's post by the breakfast plates, left the room and closed the door behind her. The time had come for action, and action there was. I did not linger or dally. All a passer-by, had there been a passer-by, would have seen was a sort of blur. 10 seconds later, I had Gussie's bit of trinitropoluol in my hand. To trouser it was the work of an instant. To reach the window again with a view to a quick getaway, that of an instant more. And I was on the point of passing through when I caught sight of a large framed photograph on the windowsill. It was a speaking likeness of Madeline Bassett. And as I gazed at those large, saucer-like eyes and took a square look at those quivering lips, something went off inside my being like a spring. I had had an inspiration. Events were to prove that my idea was just one of those that seemed good at the time. But at that moment I was convinced that if I were to snitch this portrait and confront Gussie with it, bidding him drink it in, his better self would get it up the nose, and all the old love and affection would come surging back. Accordingly, I scooped the bally thing in and was making for the French window again, like a man on a walking tour, diving into a village pub 2 minutes before closing time, when I saw, to my horror, Madeline Bassett approaching across the lawn. I turned and headed for the door. There was a sound of someone hefty, presumably the Bassett's solid school friend, the one whose sex life had recently stubbed its toe, coming down the hall. I felt like a stag at bay. In fact, if you describe Bertram Wooster at this juncture as all of a doodah, you'd not be far wrong. I sprang to the window. The Bassett was closer. I sprang back. The footsteps were heavier. Finally, I sprang sideways, my eye having been caught by a substantial sideboard in the corner of the room. I was behind it with about 3 seconds to spare.
Righto, Percy. Into the garden with you. Oh, stop that fearful racket, you frightful hound. Now, there's the cricket news. 146 for 8? God! Oh, hello, Madeline. Good morning, Theodore. What a lovely, lovely morning. I don't see what's so particularly hot about it. Personally, I find all mornings foul. Oh, Hilda, don't be sad. I've been gathering flowers, beautiful, smiling flowers, all wet with the morning dew. How happy flowers seem, Hilda.
Well, why shouldn't they? What have they got to beef about? This fellow says Surrey might win the county championship this season. A fat chance. Oh, you're back, Percy. All right, up here.
Hilda?
Yes?
There's no letter from Gussie. Oh, I'm still worried. I think I shall go down to Deverill by an earlier train.
Oh, suit yourself.
I can't help having an awful feeling that he's seriously injured. He said he'd only sprained his wrist, but has he? That is what I ask myself. Suppose the horse knocked him down and trampled on him.
He'd mentioned it.
But he wouldn't. That's what I mean. Gussie is so unselfish and considerate.
His first thought would be to spare me anxiety. Oh, Hilda, do you think his spine is fractured?
What rot! Spine fractured my foot. If there isn't a letter, all it means is this other fellow, what's his name, Wooster, has kicked at acting as an amanuensis. Well, I don't blame him. He's dippy about you, isn't he?
Bertie? Yes. He loves me very, very dearly. It's a tragedy. I can't describe to you, Hilda, the pathos of that look of dumb suffering in his eyes when we meet.
Well, then, the thing's obvious. If you're dippy about a girl and another fellow has grabbed her, it can't be pleasant to sit at a writing table, probably with a rotten pen, sweating away while the other fellow dictates, "My own, comma, precious darling, full stop. I worship you, comma, I adore you, full stop. How I wish, comma, my dearest, comma, that I could press you to my bosom and cover your lovely face with burning kisses, exclamation mark." I don't wonder Wooster kicked.
You're very heartless, Hilda.
I've had enough to make me heartless. I sometimes thought of ending it all. I've got a gun in that drawer there.
Hilda?
Oh, I don't suppose I shall. Too much fuss and bother. Percy, stay! Have you seen the paper this morning? It says there's some talk of altering the leg before wicket rule again. Odd how your outlook changes when your heart's broken. I can remember a time when I'd have been all excited if they'd altered the leg before rule. Now, I don't give a damn. Let them alter it, and I hope they have a fine day for it. What sort of fellow is this Wooster?
A dear.
He must be, if he writes Gussie's love letters for him. Either that or a perfect sap. If I were in your place, Madeline, I'd give Gussie the air and sign up with him. Being a man, I presume he's a louse like all other men, but he's rich, and money's the only thing that matters.
Oh, Hilda, darling.
Oh, sit still, Percy. Oh, all right, blast you. Buzz off if you want to.
Hilda,
What now?
my photograph. Where is it?
Oh, I don't know. I expect Jane has smashed it. What's the matter with you, you silly ass? Hello.
Hilda, what's you doing with that pistol?
Don't get excited. I'm not going to shoot myself. It would be a pretty good idea at that. There's a man behind the sideboard.
Oh!
Come on out of it, you! I've been wondering for some time where that curious breathing sound was coming from. Percy spotted him. Attaboy, Percy. Nice work. Come on, you! Out!
Hello.
A breathy criminal, though top-soiled. One of those Mayfair men you read about, I suppose. I see he's got that photograph of yours, Madeline, and probably half a dozen other things as well. I think the first move is to make him turn out his pockets.
No, I say, really, I mean...
Bertie! Bertie? This is Bertie Wooster, the complete letter writer. What's he doing here? And why has he swiped your photograph?
I think I know.
Then you're smarter than I am. Goofy the whole proceeding strikes me as.
Will you leave us, Hilda? I want to speak to Bertie. Alone.
Righto. May as well take my letters, I suppose, though I doubt whether there's anything worth reading in them. Come along, Percy.
Where's Bertie?
Nice day. Thought I'd look in. It occurred to me you might be glad to have the latest bulletin about Gussie, so I popped up on the milk train. Gussie, I'm glad to say, getting along fine. The wrist is still stiff, but the swelling's subsiding, and there's no pain. He sends his best. You're probably asking yourself what I was doing behind that sideboard. I parked myself there on a sudden whim. You know how one gets these sudden whims? And you may be thinking it a bit odd that I should be going around with this studio portrait in my possession. Well, I'll tell you. I happened to see it on the windowsill there, and I took it to give Gussie. I thought he'd like to have it to buck him up in your absence. He misses you sorely, of course, And it occurred to me that it would be nice for him to shove it on the dressing table and study it from time to time. No doubt he already has several of these speaking likenesses, but a fellow could always do with one more. What?
Oh, Bertie. Oh, Bertie. Do you read Rosie Ann Banks's novels?
No, not very frequently, no. They sell like hotcakes, Bingo tells me.
You've not read Marvin Keene Clubman?
No, I missed that. Good stuff.
It's very, very beautiful.
Oh, I must put it on my library list.
You sure you've not read it?
Oh, quite. As a matter of fact, I've always steered rather clear of Mrs. Bingo's stuff. Why?
It seems such an extraordinary coincidence. Shall I tell you the story of Marvin Keene?
If you want to, certainly do.
Very well. He was young and rich and handsome, an officer in the Coldstream Guards, and the idol of all who knew him. Everybody envied him.
I don't wonder. Lucky stiff.
But he was not really to be envied. There was a tragedy in his life. He loved Cynthia Grey, the most beautiful girl in London, but just as he was about to speak his love, he found that she was engaged to Sir Hector Mauleverer, the explorer.
Dangerous devils, these explorers, you know. You want to watch them like hawks. Well, in these circs, of course, he would have refrained from speaking his love. Kept it under his hat, I suppose, what?
Yes, but he went on worshipping her, outwardly gay and cheerful, inwardly gnawed by his ceaseless pain. And then one night, her brother Lionel, a wild young man who had unfortunately got into bad company, came to his rooms and told him that he had committed a very serious crime and was going to be arrested. And he asked Mervyn to save him by taking the blame himself. And of course, Mervyn said he would.
Silly ass. Why?
For Cynthia's sake, to save her brother from imprisonment and shame.
But it meant going to choking himself. I suppose he overlooked that.
No, Mervyn fully realized what must happen. But he confessed to the crime and went to prison. When he came out, grey and broken, he found that Cynthia had married Sir Hector, and he went to the South Sea Islands and became a beachcomber. And time passed.
It would, of course.
And then, one day, Cynthia and her husband arrived at the island on their travels and stayed at Government House. And Mervyn saw her drive by. And she was just as beautiful as ever. And their eyes met. But she didn't recognize him because, of course, he had a beard. And his face was changed because he had been living the pace that kills, trying to forget.
That reminds me of a good one I heard the other day. The pace that kills nowadays is the slow, casual walk across a busy street. What? Hey? Hang on.
Thank you. He found out that she was leaving next morning, and he had nothing to remember her by. So he broke into Government House in the night and took from her dressing table the rose she had been wearing in her hair. And Cynthia found him taking it. And, of course, she was very upset when she recognized him.
Oh, she recognized him this time. He'd shaved, had he?
No, he still wore his beard, but she knew him when he spoke her name. And there was a very painful scene in which he told her how he'd always loved her and had come to steal her rose. And she told him that her brother had died and confessed on his deathbed that it was he who had been guilty of the crime for which Mervyn had gone to prison. And then Sir Hector came in.
Ah, good situation. Strong.
And, of course, he thought Mervyn was a burglar, and he shot him. And Mervyn died with the rose in his hand. And, of course, the sound of the shot roused the house, and the governor came running in and said, "Is anything missing?" And Cynthia, in a low, almost inaudible voice, said, "Only a rose." That is the story of Mervyn Keene Clubman.
I see. Very nice.
Oh, Bertie, I ought to have given you my photograph long ago. I blame myself. But I thought it would be too painful for you, too sad a reminder of all that you had lost. I see now that I was wrong. You found this strain too great to bear. At all costs you had to have it. So you stole into the house, like Mervyn Keene, and took it.
What?
Oh, no. No.
Yes, Bertie? There need be no pretenses between you and me. And don't think I'm angry. I'm touched. More deeply touched than I can say. And oh, so sorry. How sad life is.
You betcha.
You saw my friend Hildegard. There's another tragedy. Her whole happiness has been ruined by a wretched quarrel with the man she loves. A man called Harold Anstruther.
Really?
Yes. They were playing in the mixed doubles in a tennis tournament not long ago, and according to her, I don't understand tennis very well, he insisted on hogging the game, as she calls it. She complained, and he was very rude and said she was a rabbit or something. And so, directly the game was finished, she broke off the engagement, and now she's broken-hearted.
She doesn't look it.
Hello. Madeline, what do you think this is? A grovelling letter from the boyfriend, no less. He's surrendered unconditionally. He says he must be mad to call me a rabbit, and he can never forgive himself. But can I forgive him? Well, I can answer that one. I'm going to forgive him the day after tomorrow. Not earlier, because we must have discipline.
Oh, Hilda, how glad I am.
I'm pretty pleased about it myself. Good old Harold. A king among men. But, of course, needs keeping in his place from time to time, and has to be taught what's what. I mustn't run on about Harold. What I came to tell you was that there's a fellow outside in the car who wants to see you. To see me? So he says. Name of Pirbright.
Why, it must be your friend Claude Pirbright, Bertie. I wonder what he wants. I'd better go and see. You must be brave, Bertie. Someday, another girl will come into your life, and you will be happy. When we're both old and grey, we shall laugh together over all this. Laugh. But I think, with a tear behind the smile. Goodbye.
Well, Wooster, old bloke.
Oh, got an old bird?
Do you know, Wooster, I keep feeling there's something familiar about your name. I must have heard Harold mention it. Do you know Harold Anstruther?
Rather, yes. He was my racket partner in my last year at Oxford.
Of course, yes. Well, Harold speaks very highly of you, Wooster, old-timer. And I'll tell you something. I have a lot of influence with Madeline, and I'll exert it on your behalf.
No.
I'll talk to her like a mother. Oh, dash it all. We can't have her marrying a pill like Gussie Fink-Nottle when there's a racket's blue on her waiting list, what?
Well, that's frightfully good of you, but no.
No trouble, Wooster, old cock. Courage, old man. Courage and patience. Come and have a bit of breakfast.
Thanks awfully. No, I must be getting along. I'd like to catch meet Pirbright, you know, before he goes.
Oh, righto then. Not off. But I'm going to have the breakfast of a lifetime, even if you're not. I haven't felt so roaring fit since I won the tennis singles at Rodines. Cheerio, Wooster.
Cheerio. Cheerio. Now, where's Catsmeet?
Catsmeet! Catsmeet, don't go without me! Catsmeet!
Oh, found the fellow. Oh,
In that episode, the parts were played as follows. Jeeves, Michael Horden, Bertie Richard Bryars, Catsmeet Pirbright, Kenneth Fortescue, Gussie Fink-Nottle, David Valler, Madeline Bassett, Bridget Armstrong, Dame Daphne Winkworth, and Hilda Gudgeon, Miriam Margulies. The episode was adapted for radio by Chris Miller from the book The Mating Season by P.G. Wodehouse. The program was produced by Peter Titheridge. We present What Ho Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. Starring Michael Horden as Jeeves, Richard Bryars as Bertie Wooster, and James Villiers as Esmond Haddock. From the book The Mating Season, Episode 4, The Village Concert.
Of all the frightful aspects of life at Deverill Hall, the Hampshire residence of Esmond Haddock and his 5 aunts, just about the foulest was that Gussie Fink-Nottle and I had exchanged roles, self having checked in as Gussie, and Gussie answering to the name of Wooster. As a result, we lived in constant fear that at any moment my Aunt Agatha or Gussie's fiancée, Madeline Bassett, would arrive, tear off our whiskers, and denounce us. And indeed, the day prior to the King's Deverill village concert had been almost entirely taken up with various schemes and ruses to prevent just such a disaster. In order to get Aunt Agatha to postpone a proposed visit to Deverill, Jeeves had persuaded my cousin Thomas to run away from school without leaving a forwarding address and come to stay at the vicarage with Corky Pirbright. Meanwhile, Corky's brother, Catsmeat, and I had separately hot-footed it up to Wimbledon Common to allay the suspicions of the Bassett, who had threatened to blow in to see what Gussie was up to. And as Catsmeat had shot off from there in my car without waiting for me, it was not until fairly late on the Thursday morning that I at last got back to Deverill, feeling as I tottered off the train as if I'd been glued to the carriage seat since early boyhood. The first person I saw buying motion picture magazines at the bookstall was my repulsive, carroty-haired cousin, Thomas.
Oh, hello, young Foss. So you've got here all right?
Frank, you look like something the cat brought in.
So would you if you'd been travelling half the night on a milk train.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you would, you supercilious little squirt, swanking about the place as if you bought it. Out of my way.
Ow! That hurt!
Good.
Yoo-hoo, Bertie!
Oh, hello, Corky. Hang on.
Where did you spring from, moon of my delight? Did you see what was in the station?
I did.
Jeeves delivered him as per memo last night.
Yes, he told me.
Poor Uncle Sidney wasn't too happy, I'm afraid. But I think it's good for a clergyman to have these trials, don't you? It makes him more spiritual and consequently hotter at his job. I love him anyway. What a sympathetic, sweet-natured boy he is, Bertie.
You were speaking of my cousin Thomas?
Yes, he's so loyal. When I told him Constable Dobbs had arrested Sam Goldwyn for biting him in the leg, he simply boiled with generous indignation and promised to think up some means of retaliation.
What?
Yes, wasn't that angelic of him? By the way, have you seen Catsmeat?
Not to speak to, no. Why?
I met him just now, and he was singing like a linnet all over the place. He had a note from Gertrude Winkworth this morning, and she says that if and when she can elude her mother's eye, she will elope with him. His cup of joy is full.
I'm glad someone's is.
Bertie, my lamb, what's the matter? What have you been doing to yourself? What have you been doing to yourself? You look like...
Something the cat brought in?
I was going to say something excavated from Tutankhamun's tomb. What's been happening?
Corky, I've been through hell.
Oh? And how were they all?
I've just come back from Wimbledon.
From Wimbledon? But Catsmeat was attending to the Wimbledon end. He told me he'd been down to head Madeline Bassett off. He succeeded, by the way.
Oh, he did? Well, that I suppose is something.
Yes, but what did you go to Wimbledon for?
Me? I went to Wimbledon, young C. Pirbright, in order to intercept and destroy a letter Gussie wrote to the Bassett yesterday telling her their engagement was off because his heart now belonged to you.
What?
Yes.
Gussie's heart belongs to me?
Yes. What do you expect, you infernal young pipsqueak, when for the last 5 days you've been making this Fink-Nottle the plaything of an idle hour? The superheated newt fancier's completely non-compass about you. Look at the way he frisks and bleats around. Why do you encourage him? Are you trying to activate the green-eyed monster in Esmond Haddock?
No.
Well, that's what it very well looks like. But whatever the reason, Corky, it's got to stop. I've explained to you what would happen if the Fink-Nottle-Bassett romance gets sand in the gears to such an extent that it ceases to tick over. Bertram Wooster will be faced with a fate that is worse than death, viz., marriage. You must cool Gussie off right away. Every second he spends out of the Frigidaire is fraught with peril.
You want me to return him to circulation?
Exactly.
Switch off the fascination. Release him from my clutches.
That is right.
Certainly, I'll attend to it as soon as convenient.
Well, why not instanter?
Well, I'll tell you, Bertie, there's a little job I want him to do for me first.
Job? What job?
Corky!
Ah, here's Thomas at last.
I've decided what to do to that cop who arrested your dog. I'm going to curse him.
What?
Curse him. Wham! Smack! Wallop!
My God, you can't do that.
Why not?
Yes, why not, Bertie? He People do it to people in detective stories the whole time. All you need is a small but serviceable rubber bludgeon. Have you got one, Thomas?
Yes, I bought one in 7 Dials last holidays. I was going to use it on Stinker of the Lower Fourth, but Dobbs is going to get it now.
Oh, that is sweet of you, Thomas. And you're quite right. It will do Dobbs all the good in the world to be coshed. It may prove a turning point in his life. But Bertie, be quiet. Come on now, Thomas. Hop in. It's time to go.
All right. Here, my poor man. Don't spend it on drink. Ow!
Corky,
Yes?
what job?
I beg your pardon?
What job do you want Gussie to do for you?
Oh, it wouldn't interest you, Bertie. Just a trivial little job about the place. Cheerio. See you at the concert tonight.
Corky!
Cheerio, Bertie.
As I hoofed along the road that led to Deverill Hall, speculating dully as to what precisely Corky had meant by the expression trivial little job, something large and Norfolk-jacketed hove into sight, and I identified it as my host, Esmond Haddock. Owing to the fact that, on the instructions of Dame Daphne Winkworth, port was no longer served after dinner, I had not enjoyed a tete-a-tete with Esmond since the night of my arrival, when he had confided to me that Corky was still the lodestar of his life. I'd seen him around the place, of course, but always in the company of a brace of assorted aunts or that of his cousin Gertrude, in each case looking Byronic. Today, Esmond looked more sombre than ever. I wasn't surprised. It was plain that he, too, had noted Gussie's spotty work apropos Corky and was feeling it deeply. He greeted me with a moody twitch of the cheek muscles, as if he had thought of smiling, and then thought again, and said, oh, to hell with it.
Hello there.
Hello, Esmond.
Nice day.
Yes. Out for a walk?
Yes. You out for a walk?
Yes. I'm out for a walk. I just ran into Miss Pirbright.
Oh? Miss Pirbright, eh?
Yes.
Was Wooster with her?
Oh, I see what you mean. No, she was alone.
You sure?
Certain.
He may have been lurking in the background, behind a tree or something.
The meeting occurred in the station yard.
He wasn't skulking in the doorway.
Oh, no.
Strange. Don't often see her without Wooster these days.
No.
No. Tell me about the fellow Gussie. Is he a friend of yours?
Oh, yes.
Known him long?
We were at school together.
I suppose he was a pretty loathsome boy, the pariah of the establishment.
Oh, no.
Oh, changed after he grew up, eh? Well, he certainly made up leeway, all right. Because of all the slinking snakes, it has ever been my misfortune to encounter. He is the slimiest, the fish-faced trailing arbutus.
He's not a bad chap.
That may be your opinion, Gussie, but it is not mine. Nor, I should imagine, that of most decent people. Hell is full of men like Wooster. What the devil does she see in him?
I don't know.
Nor anyone else. Now, I have studied the fellow carefully and without bias. He seems to me to be entirely lacking in charm. Have you ever turned over a flat stone?
From time to time.
And what came crawling out? A lot of obscene creatures that might have been his brothers. I tell you, Gussie, if you were to put a bit of gorgonzola on the slide of a microscope and tell me to take a look, the first thing I'd say on getting it focused would be, why, hello, Wooster. Oh, I know the specious argument you are going to put forward. You are going to say it's not Wooster's fault that he looks like a slightly enlarged cheese mite. Very true. One strives to be fair, but it's not only the man's revolting appearance that distresses the better element. He is a menace to the community.
Oh, come.
What do you mean, oh, come? You heard what my Aunt Daphne was telling us the other night? About this ghastly Wooster's perpetually stealing policemen's helmets?
Well, not perpetually, just a treat on boat race night.
I don't like the way you stick up for the fellow, Gussie. You probably consider you're being broad-minded, but you want to be very careful how you let that so-called broad-mindedness grow on you. It's apt to become mere moral myopia. The facts are well documented. Whenever Wooster has a spare moment, he goes about London persecuting unfortunate policemen, assaulting them, hampering them in their duties, making their lives a hell on earth. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Gussie. I only hope he intends to start something on those lines here because we're ready for him. Eh? Ready and waiting. You know Dobbs?
The flatty?
Oh, village constable, yes. A splendid fellow, tireless in the performance of his duties.
I've not met him. I hear his engagement to Queenie, the parlourmaid, is broken off.
So much the better, for it will remove the last trace of pity and weakness from his heart. I've told Dobbs all about Wooster and warned him to be on the alert. Let Wooster so much as lift a finger in the direction of Dobbs's helmet, and he's for it. You might not think so at a casual glance, Gussie, but I am a justice of the peace. I sit on the bench at our local sessions and put it across the criminal classes when they start getting above themselves. If Wooster comes up before me, I shall give him 30 days without the option, regardless of his age or sex.
You wouldn't do it, that is.
I would, and I am looking forward to it. Let Wooster stray 1 inch from the straight and narrow path, just 1 inch, and you can kiss him farewell for 30 days. Well, I'll be moving along, Gussie. I find it helps a little to keep walking. Goodbye.
Cheerio, Esmond. Oh, my golly. Oh, gosh. If only Jeeves were here.
Good morning, sir.
Jeeves, have you just manifested yourself out of the void?
No, sir. I'm returning from the village where I have been running some errands for my Uncle Charlie. May I make a remark, sir?
Certainly, Jeeves. Carry on. Make several.
It is with reference to your appearance, sir, if I might take the liberty of suggesting...
Go on, say it. I look like something the cat found in Tutankhamun's tomb, don't I?
I would not go so far as to say that, sir, but I have unquestionably seen you more soigné.
As in way down upon the Soigné River, you mean?
Sir?
Oh, it doesn't matter, Jeeves.
Very good. You appear somewhat distrait, sir, if I may say so.
I am distrait, Jeeves. About as distrait as I can stick. And there's enough to make me distrait. Not only have I got to stand up on a stage tonight and tell an audience, probably well provided with vegetables, that Christopher Robin goes hoppity, hoppity, hop.
Yes, sir. The village concert.
Quite. But it's not just that, Jeeves. What is really making me distrait at this moment is that man is up to it again.
Sir?
Sorry to speak in riddles. What I mean is that Gussie has once more become a menace of the first water.
Indeed, sir. In what way?
I will tell you. What started all this ranny-gazoo?
The circumstances of Mr. Fink-Nottle being sent to prison, sir.
Exactly. Well, it's an odds-on bet that he's going to be sent to prison again.
Indeed, sir.
I wish you wouldn't keep saying indeed, sir. Yes, the shadow of the pen is once more closing in on Augustus Fink-Nottle. One false step and into the coop he goes for 30 days, and we know what'll happen then, don't we?
We do indeed, sir.
Of course, it may be, Jeeves, that I am mistaken in supposing that this old lag is about to resume his life of crime, but I don't think so. Here are the facts. Just now I encountered Miss Pirbright in the station yard, and during our conversation she happened to mention there was a little job she was getting Gussie to do for her, and her manner was evasive, or shall I say furtive.
Whichever you prefer, sir.
Well, it was the manner of a girl guiltily conscious of being in the process of starting something, and the thought that smote me like a blow was that if that is so, it's 100 to 8 it's something in the nature of reprisals against Constable Dobbs. What ho, I said to myself. Hello, 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 hello.
If I might interrupt for a moment, sir. I'm happy to inform you that my efforts to secure a clerk for Mr. Esmond Haddock at the concert this evening have been crowned with gratifying success. The back of the hall will be thronged with his supporters and well-wishers.
I fail to understand you, Jeeves.
If you recall our conversation of last Saturday morning, sir, you requested me to assemble a clerk for Mr. Haddock in the hope that, emboldened by a warm reception for his song this evening, he would defy the Mrs. Deverill, his aunts, thus effecting a reconciliation betwixt the young gentleman and Miss Pirbright.
Well, yes, Jeeves, I remember all that, and the fact that you've got a
clerk, sir?
Yes, the fact you've got a clerk set up is excellent news. But what I'm dashed if I can see is what it's got to do with the res under discussion.
I'm extremely sorry, sir. It was your observing hello, 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 hello that put the matter into my mind.
Oh, because of Esmond's song, you mean?
Exactly, sir.
Hello, 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 hello.
Precisely, sir. But you were saying, sir...
Ah, yes. Corky's psychology is an open book to me, Jeeves. Even in the distant days when she wore rompers and had a tooth missing in front, Hers was always a fiery and impulsive nature, quick to resent anything in the shape of Umpus Bumpus. And it is inevitably as Umpus Bumpus that she would have classed the zealous officer's recent arrest of her dog. The unfortunate hound is languishing in a dungeon with gyves upon his wrists, and a girl of her spirit is not likely to accept such state of things supinely.
No, sir.
You're right, no, sir. Corky is planning direct action against Constable Dobbs, taking we cannot say what form, and it seems only too sickeningly certain that Gussy, whom it is so imperative to keep from getting embroiled again with the force, is going to lend himself as an instrument to her sinister designs. And here's something that'll make you say, indeed, sir. I've just been talking to Esmond Haddock, and he turns out to be a J.P.
Indeed, sir?
Yes, Jeeves. He has the powers of the high, the middle, and the low justice in King's Deverill, and is consequently in a position to give anyone 30 days without the option as soon as look at them. And once more he has taken a violent dislike to Gussy, and told me in so many words that it is his dearest wish to see the derbies clapped on him. Try that one on your pianola.
But surely, sir, Mr. Fink-Nottle's is essentially a law-abiding nature, not at all given to outbursts of social irresponsibility, such as you envisage.
Oh, I agree, Jeeves. Left to himself, Gussy is the last person likely to commit a tort or malfeasance. But one must remember that the poor fathead is easily swayed.
You think that Mr. Fink-Nottle will lend a willing ear to the young lady's suggestion?
Her word is law to him. He will be wax in her hands. I tell you, Jeeves, the spirits are low. I don't know if you've ever been tied hand and foot to a chair in front of a barrel of gunpowder with an inch of lighted candle on top of it.
No, sir, I have not had that experience.
Well, that's just how I'm feeling. I'm just clenching the teeth and waiting for the bang. For all I know, Gussy may have done the deed already.
It is more than likely, sir.
What do you mean?
If you would be so good as to direct your gaze up the road, sir, you would observe Mr. Fink-Nottle being ejected from the village police station by Police Constable Dobbs.
What? Oh, my golly. But...
Yes, sir.
What the devil has he been doing?
I could not say, sir, but I would hazard the guess that the young gentleman has provoked the officer in some way, as the latter undoubtedly has the look of a man who has recently passed through some testing emotional experience.
Gussie? Hey? Oh, hello, Bertie. Hello. Hello, Jeeves.
Good morning, sir.
Gussie, what is all this?
Oh, that was Constable Dobbs.
So I deduced.
From the uniform, no doubt.
That and the helmet.
Quite, I see. Quite, I see. Quite, I see.
Gussie, snap out of it.
What? Oh, yes. Quite, I see. Quite, I see.
Gussie, what the blazes have you been up to?
Bertie, you have frequently been in the hands of the police, haven't you?
Not frequently. Once.
It is a ghastly experience, is it not? Your whole life seems to rise before you. By Jove, I could do with a drink of orange juice.
Orange juice?
Yes.
Gussie, for the last time, will you kindly explain what's been going on in that Valley police station? What were you doing?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, I was strewing frogs.
Jeeves, I think something's gone wrong with my hearing. For a moment then I thought Mr. Fink-Nottle said he'd been strewing frogs.
Yes, that was what Mr. Fink-Nottle did say.
Yes, Bertie, strewing frogs. In Constable Dobbs's boudoir. The vicar suggested it.
Jeeves, did Gussie say the vicar suggested it?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my aunt.
No, Bertie, what I mean is, he gave Corky the idea. She'd been brooding a lot, poor girl, on Dobbs's high-handed behavior in connection with her dog. And last night, the vicar happened to speak of Pharaoh and all those plagues he got when he wouldn't let the children of Israel go. You probably recall the incident. Well, it occurred to Corky that if Dobbs were visited by a plague of frogs, he might let Sam Goldwyn go. So she asked me to look in at his cottage and attend to the matter. Of course, a plague of lice would have been even more effective, but lice are hard to come by, whereas you can find frogs in any hedgerow.
And what happened? Dobbs caught you?
Fortunately, no. He came in about half a minute too late. I had bided my time, and having ascertained that the cottage was empty, I went in and distributed my frogs.
And he appeared from somewhere around the corner?
Exactly. It was a most embarrassing moment. One didn't quite know how to begin the conversation. Eventually I said, "Oh, hello, there you are." And he stared at the frogs for some time, and then he said, "What's all this?" They were hopping about a bit. You know how frogs hop.
Hither and thither, you mean?
That's right, hither and thither. Well, I kept my presence of mind. I said, "What's all what, officer?" And he said, "All these frogs." And I said, "Ah, yes, there do seem to be quite a few frogs in here. You are fond of them?" He then asked if these frogs were my doing. And I said, "In what sense do you use the word doing, officer?" And he said, "Did you bring these frogs in here?" Well, then I'm afraid I willfully misled him, for I said no. It went against the grain to tell a deliberate falsehood, of course. But I do think there are times when one is justified.
Get on!
You bustle me so, Bertie. Where was I? Oh, yes. I said, no, I couldn't account for their presence in any way. I said it was just one of those things we should never be able to understand. Probably, I said, we were not meant to understand. And, of course, he could prove nothing. I think he must have appreciated this, for all he did was mutter something about it being a very serious offence to bring frogs into a police station. And I said I suppose it was. And what a pity one could never hope to catch the fellow who'd done it. And then he asked me what I was doing there. And I said I had come to ask him to release Sam Goldwyn. And he said he wouldn't because he'd now established that the bite Sam had given him was his second bite. The first, of course, having been at Silversmith the butler, your uncle, Jeeves.
Precisely.
So then I said, oh, well then, I think I'll be going. And I went. He came with me, as you saw, growling under his breath. I can't say I liked the man. His manner's bad, brusque, abrupt. Not at all the sort of chap likely to win friends and influence people. Now, I suppose I had better be getting along and reporting to Corky. That stuff about the second bite will worry her, I'm afraid. Well, cheerio, Bertie. Cheerio, Jeeves.
Good morning, sir.
Jeeves?
Sir?
How is it that a super goof like Gussie has managed to go through life all this while without fetching up in some loony bin?
I could not say, sir.
You would have thought that some such establishment as Coney Hatch, with its talent scouts out all over the place, would have snapped him up years ago, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir. Would you wish me to speak a word to Mr. Fink-Nottle, sir, warning him of the inadvisability of doing anything further of a rash nature?
I say, yes, that's an idea. There's nothing I'd like better, Jeeves. He might listen to you.
Very good, sir. Then I shall proceed to the vicarage as soon as I have delivered these small purchases to my Uncle Charlie.
Right-ho. Oh, and Jeeves, one other thing, most important. When at the vicarage, get in touch with young Thost and remove from his possession a cosh or rubber bludgeon which he has managed to acquire. He speaks freely of beaning Constable Dobbs with it. So choke it out of him, will you? I shan't be easy in my mind till I know you've got it.
Certainly, sir. I will give the matter my attention.
Thank you, Jeeves. It's a black business, isn't it?
Extremely, sir.
I don't know when I've come across a blacker. Very, very murky everything is.
With perhaps the exception of the affairs of Mr. Pirbright, sir.
Ah, yes, cat's meat. I was informed of his lucky strike. His hat's on the side of his head, they tell me.
It was distinctly in that position when I last saw him, sir. He was playing gin rummy in the servants' hall with Queenie the parlour-maid in an attempt to raise the poor girl's spirits. It was positively jocular. I fear, sir, that Mr. Pirbright does not make an entirely convincing gentleman's person or gentleman.
Well, as long as he answers to the name of Meadows and doesn't give the game away, let him be as rollicking as he likes, say I. He at least has speared the happy ending, and that's one ray of light we can chalk up.
Yes, sir.
And you say the village toughs are going to rally round Mr. Haddock this evening?
In impressive numbers, sir.
Well, dash it, that's 2 rays of light. And if you can talk Gussy out of making an ass of himself again, that'll be 3. We're getting on, Jeeves. We mustn't lose heart.
Exceedingly true, sir.
No, Jeeves, we mustn't lose heart. And on that optimistic note, we parted. He to proceed directly to the servants' quarters of the hall, I to sneak through the grounds so as to avoid prowling aunts. From time to time, as I slunk from bush to bush, I could hear them baying in the distance. But I wasn't spotted, and it was with something approaching a tra-la on my lips that I passed through the front door into the hall, only to find Bing, right in the middle of the fairway, arranging flowers at a table, Catsmeat's future mother-in-law and the Bassett's godmother, Dame Daphne Winkworth, no less. Well, I suppose Napoleon or Attila the Hun or one of those fellows would have just waved a hand and said, "Aha there," and hurried on, but the feat was beyond me. Even at the best of times, this female 20-minute egg put the wind up me pretty vertically, and she was now looking about 10 degrees more forbidding than usual. Her eye, swivelling round, stopped me like a bullet, and it was as much as I could do to stand on one leg and dash a bead of perspire from the brow. The wedding guest, if you remember, had the same trouble with the ancient mariner.
Ah, there you are, Augustus.
Yes.
I had no time to ask you last night. Have you written to Madeline?
Yes, rather.
I hope you are properly apologetic for having taken so long about it.
Rather, yes.
And why are you looking as if you had slept in your clothes?
Well, As a matter of fact, I did. I ran up to Wimbledon last night on the milk train to see Madeline, don't you know?
Oh, my dear boy.
Oh, no. You know how it is. I mean, you can't say all you want to in letters. I thought, the personal touch, if you see what I mean.
Oh, Augustus.
I think it was a good move.
It was indeed. It is just the sort of thing that would appeal to Madeline's romantic nature. Why, you are quite a Romeo, Augustus. In the milk train. You must have been traveling all night.
Pretty well.
Oh, you poor boy. I can see you're worn out. I will ring for Silversmith to bring you some orange juice.
Oh, thanks.
Dear me, where is he? Really? Ah, there you are, Silversmith.
Yes, my lady. I must apologize for my delay in answering the bell, my lady. When your ladyship rang, I was in the act of making a speech, and it was not until some moments had elapsed that I became aware of the summons.
Making a speech?
In honor of a happy event, my lady. My daughter Queenie has become a fiancée.
Indeed?
Is Queenie your daughter?
Yes, sir.
Golly.
And who is the happy man, Silversmith?
A nice, steady young fellow, my lady. A young fellow called Meadows.
Meadows?
Yes, sir.
From the village?
No, my lady. Meadows is Mr. Fink-Nottle's personal attendant.
Really?
Yes, quite. I say.
Yes, sir, Silversmith. Mr. Fink-Nottle would like a glass of orange juice.
Very good, my lady.
You will no doubt be wanting to change your clothes, Augustus. Silversmith will bring the orange juice to you in your room.
Oh, thanks. He might tell Katz Meadows to bring it.
Why, of course. You will want to wish him happiness.
That's right. Yes, that's right. Wish him happiness. Oh, yes, quite.
Hello, Bertie.
Cat's meat.
I say, Bertie, old man, a rather unfortunate thing has happened.
I know. This morning you finalized your plans for marrying the daughter of the house, and now you're engaged to the parlour-maid. What went wrong?
I'll tell you. Do you want this orange juice?
No.
Then I'll have it. It may help a little.
When you're ready, cat's meat.
Oh, yes. It all comes of letting that Dickens spirit creep over you, Bertie. The advice I give to every young man starting life is never get Dickensy. You remember I told you that for some days I've been bursting with a sort of yeasty benevolence. This morning it came to a head. I'd had Gertrude's note saying she would elope with me, and I was just a solid chunk of sweetness and light. And with these sentiments fizzing about inside me, with the milk of human kindness sloshing up against my back teeth, I wandered into the servants' hall and found Queenie still mourning her broken engagement to Dobbs.
You decided to cheer her up?
Exactly. I suggested a game of gin rummy, and we played for a while, but the poor girl's mind was clearly elsewhere. Suddenly she burst into tears. My heart bled profusely, Bertie. I said, there. I took her hand and patted it, but still she didn't stop. Then, as I didn't seem to be making any headway, almost unconsciously I drew her onto my knee and put my arm around her waist and started kissing her, like a brother. Don't say, Bertie. It was only what Sir Galahad or someone like that would have done in my place. Pretty square behavior, I should have thought. Nevertheless, I wish I hadn't yielded to the kindly impulse. I regret it sincerely, because at that moment, Silversmith came in, and what do you think? He's her father.
I know.
You seem to know everything.
I do.
Well, there's one thing you don't know, and that is that he was accompanied by Gertrude.
Gosh.
Yes. The manner on beholding he was a bit reserved. Silversmith, on the other hand, wasn't. He looked like a minor prophet without a beard suddenly confronted with the sins of the people, and started in immediately to thunder denunciations. There are fathers who know how to set about an erring daughter and fathers who do not. Silversmith is one of the former. Then in a sort of dream, I heard Queenie telling him we were engaged. She has since informed me that it seemed to her the only way out. It did, of course, momentarily ease the strain.
But how did Gertrude appear to take it?
Not very blithely. I just had a note from her cancelling our arrangements. Oh, Bertie, you see before you a spent egg, a man in whom all hope is dead. You don't happen to have any cyanide about you?
Not a drop.
I was afraid you wouldn't. Oh. And on top of all this, I got to put on a green beard and play Mike in a patter-Mike knockabout crosstalk act at this blasted village concert.
Oh, Lord, yes. A blasted village concert. The village hall stood in the middle of the high street, just abaft the duck pond. Erected in the year 1881 by Sir Quentin Deverill, Bart, a man who didn't know much about architecture but knew what he liked. It was one of those mid-Victorian jobs in glazed red brick which always seem to bob up in these old-world hamlets and do so much to encourage the drift to the towns. When I entered it that evening, a few minutes after the concert had begun, and elbowed my way carefully through a dense wedge of tough eggs towards where Jeeves was standing, a large blonde, resembling a Criterion barmaid of the old school, was on stage singing My Hero from the Chocolate Soldier.
All my own, his like on earth, who shall discover?
Evening, Jeeves.
Oh, good evening, sir. An excellent house. It will appear that you will be playing to capacity.
Quite, but I'd really rather not think about it, if you don't mind. Have you examined the faces of these standees?
No, sir, I have not.
Well, I have, Jeeves. I came in, hoping to detect some traces of ruth and pity and what is known as kind indulgence, don't you know? Not a glimmer.
No, sir?
No, Jeeves. These are stern, implacable men, utterly incapable of taking the broad, charitable view and realizing that a fellow who comes on a platform and starts reciting about Christopher Robin saying his prayers doesn't do so from sheer wantonness, but because he is a helpless victim of circumstances beyond his control.
Sorry to hear that, sir. Nevertheless, if I may express my own opinion, the gentlemen are behaving with considerable restraint at this present moment.
True, Jeeves, true. I've always ranked My Hero next after the Yeoman's Wedding Song as a standee rouser. Perhaps these splendid fellows don't war on women.
It would appear not, sir.
I say, who is this blighted songbird? You've got a bill of fare there, I see.
Miss Muriel Kegley-Bassett.
Oh, yes, Porky was moaning about the Kegley-Bassington clan the other day. The program's stiff with them, I understand.
The family is well represented, certainly, sir.
How many exactly?
Well, sir, apart from Miss Muriel Kegley-Bassington solo, we can look forward to Duologue, a pair of lunatics, Colonel and Mrs. R.P. Kegley-Bassington, Imitations, Watkin Kegley-Bassington, Card Tricks, Percival Kegley-Bassington, Rhythmic Dance, Miss Poppy Kegley-Bassington, and Recitation, Master George Kegley-Bassington.
I see. Well, Master George, I absolve from blame, but I strongly suspect that he, like me, has been thrust into this painful position by force majeure, and will be equally willing to make a cash settlement. But the rest is my word. What a screw!
Yes. This, I would imagine, will be Master George Kegley-Bassington now, sir.
Oh, you're right, Jeeves. A reluctant performer, is that I saw one.
Yes, sir. The young gentleman certainly appears to have been propelled onto the stage by physical force.
Ben Battle.
Aha! Note the belligerent pause, Jeeves, to see if anybody wants to make anything of it. Or has he forgotten the next line?
Ben Battle was a soldier bold.
All right, Dad, I know. Ben Battle was a soldier bold and used to walk along. A cannonball took off his leg so he laid out his arms. Now, as they bore him, off the field, he said, no, said he, oh yes, let others shoot, for here I leave my second leg and the 42nd foot.
Well,
The army surgeons made
how
him limp.
about
Said
that?
Barely adequate performance.
Absolutely. It would be difficult, nay impossible, to imagine anything lousier. And yet, Jeeves, this is what's so encouraging. It's producing nothing whatever in the nature of a demonstration from our neighbours. Could it be, do you think, that these rugged exteriors hide hearts of gold?
It is not impossible, sir.
It certainly isn't. They don't war on women. They don't war on children. Might it not easily happen that they won't war on Woosters either?
We can but hope, sir.
Absolutely. I am definitely encouraged, Jeeves. What's next on the menu?
A violin solo by Miss Eustacia Pulbrook, sir, followed by impressions of woodland songsters which are familiar to you all from Mr. Adrian Higgins, King's Deverill Gravely. Then the Hibernian entertainment featuring Mr. Pirbright and Mr. Fink-Nottle.
Oh, the pantomime crosstalk act, yes. And then?
Mr. Haddock's songs.
Good, excellent. Ah, that'd be splendid. Can't wait for that. Hello? Hello? I think Master George has dried up completely. Yes, he's shambling off. Whew. Well, perhaps the worst of the Kegley-Bassington offensive is behind us now, Jeeves. What's next, did you say?
Miss Eustacia Pulbrook, sir. A violin solo.
Right-ho. Clench the teeth, then, Jeeves. Clench the teeth. Except for knowing that when you've heard one, you've heard them all, I'm not really an authority on violin solos, so I cannot state definitely whether La Pulbrook's was or was not a credit to the accomplices who had taught her the use of the instrument. It was loud in spots, and less loud in other spots, and it had that quality which I have noticed in all violin solos, of seeming to last much longer than it actually did. However, it blew over eventually, and the stage was left to Adrian Higgins, and while his impressions of woodland songsters didn't go with any particular bang, the drawing of a cork and pouring out of a bottle of beer, which took him off, made a solid hit, leaving the customers in excellent mood. So all in all, Gussie and Catsmeet couldn't have had a better spot, and when they came on, festooned in green beards, they got a big hand. It was the last time they did. The act died standing up. Right from the start, I saw that it was going to be a turkey, and so it proved. It was listless. It lacked fire and oomph. Their very opening words struck a chill.
Hello, Pat.
Hello, Mike. How's your father?
He's not enjoying himself just now, Begorra.
What's he doing?
7 years.
Faith and begob. And how's your brother Jum?
He's just got a job as a swimming teacher.
Is he happy?
No, Begorra. He's often in low water.
Faith and begob. And who was that lady I saw you coming down the street with?
Who is that lady you saw me coming down the street with?
Yes, Begorra. Who was that lady I saw you coming down the street with?
Faith and begob. That was no lady. That was my wife. Why do bees hum?
I don't know. Why do bees hum?
Because they can't remember the words.
Jeeves. You know that grey, hopeless feeling you sometimes get listening to the rain at 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon in November?
Yes, sir.
I've got it now.
Yes.
But, Dashy, what's wrong with the blighters?
I would imagine that Mr. Pirbright's despondency might be attributed to the fact that Miss Winkworth, sitting in the front row, must be clearly visible to him.
True, Jeeves. But what's Gussie got in his mind?
I could not say, sir.
Oh, golly. I think Gussie's fallen into a trance.
My sister's in the ballet. I said my sister's in the ballet. Oh, God. You say your sister's in the ballet. Yes, Begorra, my sister's in the ballet. What does your sister do in the ballet? She comes rushing in and then she goes rushing out. What does she have to rush like that for? Faith and begob because it's the Russian ballet. Oh, come on, Gussie.
They're going, Jeeves. But a moment too soon, in my view.
No, sir. sir.
They look like a couple of pallbearers who've forgotten the coffin. Now what?
Mr. Haddock, sir.
He looks terrific, Jeeves. Full hunting costume. This is more like it.
Undoubtedly, sir.
Your clutch working beautifully. Right-o, Esmond, we've done our bit. Now it's up to you to deliver the goods.
The sun is high up in the sky, the morn is bright and fair. The eager hounds are in full cry, their barking rends the air. Hello, 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 hello. A-hunting we will go, my lads, a-hunting we will go. Pull up your socks and case the box and lay the blight low. Hearken to the merry horn, over brake and over thorn, we'll ride over our backs get torn. What ho, what ho, what ho. As rain or trees or fields so green, the hounds begin to bay. The sun is bright, the air is keen, so hunt we must today. Hello, 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 hello. A-hunting we will go, my lads, a-hunting we will go.
Esmond's making an absolute socko. A showstopper, by Jove.
Extremely gratifying, sir.
By golly, after a triumph like this, he need never stand in fear of those bally aunts of his again.
What ho, what ho, what ho.
He's coming back, Jeeves. Well, if I go a tenth as well as this, Jeeves, with my Christopher Robin poems, I shall... Jeeves.
Is something the matter, sir?
You bet something's the matter, Jeeves. I've forgotten every word.
Sir?
But those infernal poems. I don't know, my disturbed night, my taxing day and whatnot. I've forgotten every blasted word.
Indeed, sir.
Jeeves!
Yeah, I beg your pardon, sir. I should have said, really, sir.
Really, sir, it's just as bad. This calls for a gore blimey at the very least. Jeeves, I've forgotten every damn word. I shall stand up there in front of that Union Jack, opening and shutting my mouth like a goldfish. Jeeves, a solution, please, and make it snappy.
You cannot jog your memory, sir?
No, I can't.
In that case, I think you would be well advised to refrain from attempting to entertain the audience, sir.
Quite, but how can I?
I would suggest, sir, that you hand the whole conduct of the affair over to Mr. Haddock.
Eh?
I am confident that Mr. Haddock would gladly deputize for you, sir. It is only necessary to look at the young gentleman at this moment, sir, to observe that he is in an uplifted frame of mind. I have no doubt that he would welcome the opportunity to appear again before his public after the intermission.
But he couldn't learn the stuff in time.
No, sir, but he could read it from a book.
You think so?
Undoubtedly, sir. Tonight, Mr. Haddock is the idol of King's Deverill.
You mean he could get away with anything?
Exactly, sir.
Yes, I think you're right. As always, you have found the way. Right-o then, Jeeves. Oh, but I say, I haven't got the book with me.
I have a copy on my person, sir. I have been intending to station myself at the side of the stage in order to prompt you, as I believe the technical expression is, should you have had need of my services.
That's dashed good of you, Jeeves. Very white, very futile.
Not at all, sir. I will step round to the stage door at once in order to explain the position of affairs to Mr. Haddock the moment he leaves the stage.
Right-o, Jeeves. And I shall come up with you. I intend to spend the rest of the evening in the Goose and Cowslip across the road.
Very good, sir.
Thank you, Jeeves.
Hello, a-hunting we will go, my lads, a-hunting we will go. All up your socks and
Bertie! Bertie!
Gussie, is that you?
Yes. I say, Bertie, are you going into the pub?
Yes.
Do you think you could get me some brandy?
You mean orange juice?
No, I do not mean orange juice. I mean brandy. I don't like to go in myself with this green beard on.
Well, why did you take it off?
I can't get it off. I stuck it on with spirit gum, and it hurts like sin when I pull at it. Now, Bertie, please, some brandy, quick. About a bucketful. I have to nerve myself for a frightful ordeal.
Gussie, you're forgetting. Your ordeal is over. You've done your act, and pretty lousy it was, too, if I may say so. What's the matter with you?
Wasn't I good?
No, you were not good. You were cheesy. Your work lacked fire and snap.
Well, so would your work lack fire and snap. If you had to play the knockabout crosstalk act and know that directly the thing was over, you were going to break into a police station and steal a dog.
What? Say that again.
What's the point of saying it again? You heard. I've promised Corky I'll go to Dobbs's cottage and extract that dog of hers. She will be waiting in the car near at hand and will gather the animal in and whisk it off to the house of some friends of hers who live a few miles along the London road, well out of Dobbs's sphere of influence. So now you know why I want brandy.
Oh, my God. I want brandy, too.
In that episode, the parts were played as follows. Jeeves, Michael Hordern, Bertie, Richard Bryars, Esmond Haddock, James Villiers, Corky Pirbright, Joe Kendall, Catsmeet Pirbright, Kenneth Fortescue, Gussie Fink-Nottle, David Valler, Dame Daphne Winkworth, Miriam Margulies, Cousin Thomas, Muriel Kegley-Bassington, and Master George Kegley-Bassington, Denise Breyer, Silversmith, John Dunbar. The piano at the village concert was played by John Gould, who also wrote the song A Hunting We Will Go. The episode was adapted for radio by Chris Miller from the book The Mating Season by P.G. Wodehouse. We present What Ho Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse. Starring Michael Hordern as Jeeves, Richard Bryars as Bertie Wooster, and James Villiers as Esmond Haddock. From the book, The Mating Season, Episode 5, Reunited Hearts.
If you've been following this narrative of mine with anything like the proper care, you'll be aware that on the evening of the King's Deverill village concert, Deverill Hall was more or less bursting at the seams with tangled love lives and sundered hearts. First, the young squire, Esmond Haddock, had been given the brusheroo by the vicar's niece, Corky Pirbright, on account of his habit of crawling to his aunts. And then Queenie, the parlour-maid, had handed Police Constable Dobbs the mitten because she didn't like him being an atheist. Shortly afterwards, Gussie Fink-Nottle had become so infatuated with Corky that he'd written to Madeline Bassett, cancelling their wedding arrangements. And scarcely had I returned from Wimbledon Common, having intercepted and destroyed that letter, than Catsmeet, Corky's brother, who had gained admission to the hall as my valet, Meadows, dished his plans to elope with Esmond's cousin Gertrude by inadvertently getting engaged to Queenie in the servants' hall. Add to all this the fact that for various complex reasons, Gussie and I had changed places, Gussie purporting to be Bertram, and vice versa, if you see what I mean. And you will readily understand why, on several occasions during my sojourn, the fine spirit of the Woosters had come within a toucher of being crushed. This eventually happened halfway through the village concert. If you were with me at the end of the previous spasm, you'll recall that just as I was about to enter the Goose and Cowslip, Gussie Fink-Nottle, still clad in the check suit and green beard he had donned for the knockabout crosstalk act, beetled up and informed me that he was going to break into Constable Dobbs's police station to rescue Corky's dog, Sam Goldwyn. Well, at these frightful words, the fine S of the Woosters felt not just crushed, but as if it had been sat on by an elephant. And not one of your streamlined, schoolgirl-figured elephants either. A big fat one. Gussie, you mustn't.
What do you mean I mustn't? Of course I must. I told you this morning Dobbs had established that Sam has exceeded his regulation one bite. The animal is in a very serious position legally, Bertie. He must be saved. Corky wishes it.
But don't you realize the peril?
What peril?
Well, Dobbs is waiting for you. Esmond Haddock is waiting for you. Both of them just waiting to spring.
How do you know that?
Esmond told me so himself this morning. He dislikes you intensely, and it is his dearest hope someday to catch you bending and put you behind bars. And he's a J.P., and so he's in a strong position to bring about the happy ending. Gussie, he said, addressing me, you understand, if Wooster, meaning you, Gussie, comes up before me, I shall give him 30 days without the option, regardless of his age or sex.
For Corky's sake, I'd do a year. Besides, Bertie, I don't know what you mean by saying Haddock and Dobbs are waiting for me. They're both at the concert. Haddock is still on stage singing that appalling hunting song of his, and Dobbs is watching from the front row.
You're sure of that? About Dobbs, I mean?
I saw him myself from the platform while we were doing our crosstalk act.
You couldn't have been mistaken.
My dear Bertie, there's no mistaking a face like Dobbs's. It looks as if it's been carved out of some hard kind of wood by a sculptor who studied at a correspondence school and got to about lesson 3.
True, but all the same, Gussie, is this expedition wise? I mean to say...
Bertie, Corky wants me to extract her dog, and I'm going to do it. Gussie, she said to me, you're such a help. I intend to be worthy of those words. Well, cheerio, old man.
But Gussie, cheerio, dash it. Golly. Jeeves, is that you?
Precisely, sir.
Where have you been?
If you recollect, sir, you dispatched me a few minutes ago to seek an interview with Mr. Esmond Haddock in order to request him to deputize for you in the matter of the recitation of the Christopher Robin poems at the concert.
Of course. Forget my own name next. Well, how did you get on?
Everything has been satisfactorily arranged, sir. I saw Mr. Haddock as soon as he left the stage at the intermission, and as I anticipated, he is more than willing to take your place. The reception accorded to the young gentleman's hunting song has made him eager to appear before the audience a further time, sir.
Then God bless Mr. Haddock, Jeeves. In fact, hooray! There's splendid stuff in these young landowners, is there not?
Unquestionably, sir.
The backbone of the country, I sometimes call them.
Exactly, sir. Incidentally, sir, you recall that you requested me this morning to get in touch with your cousin, Master Thomas, and obtain from him his small but serviceable rubber bludgeon.
Relieve him of his cough, you mean?
Yes. I'm happy to inform you that I have been successful in that endeavor also. I have the weapon in my pocket.
Excellent, Chief. Why mention it now?
Merely, sir, that I have just been conversing with Constable Dobbs, Master Thomas's intended victim. Constable Dobbs was speaking in disparaging terms of the quality of the entertainment provided, and in doing so remarked that some of the turns, in particular Master George Kegley Bassington's inadequate attempt to recite Ben Battle, had given him a headache.
So Dobbs isn't enjoying the concert?
No, sir. The officer was almost equally caustic with regard to Miss Muriel Kegley Bassington's rendition of My Hero, and informed me that in order to avoid witnessing the efforts of Colonel and Mrs. Kegley Bassington, Master Percival Kegley Bassington, Master Watkin Kegley Bassington, and Miss Poppy Kegley Bassington, all of which is scheduled for the second half of the entertainment, he intended to return to his cottage and there to pass what is left of the evening with a pipe and the works of Colonel Robert G. Ingersoll, the eminent free thinker.
Jeeves, you didn't really say that, did you?
Sir?
About Constable Dobbs going back to his cottage?
Oh, yes, sir. The officer informed me that it was his intention to do so. He said he desired solitude.
Solitude? Jeeves, to give you the situation in what is sometimes called a nutshell, Mr. Fink-Nottle has just left me, also with the intention of repairing to Dobbs's cottage.
Indeed, sir?
Yes, and do you know what he plans to do when he gets there? Spring Miss Pirbright's dog.
I see, sir.
Quite. Not that it matters, for nothing matters now. But I wonder if you've spotted how extraordinarily closely the present setup resembles that of Alfred Lord Tennyson's well-known poem, The Charge of the Light Brigade. I mean to say, someone has blundered, and Gussy, like the 600, is riding into the valley of death. Here's not the reason why, he's but to do...
Pardon me, sir, for interrupting you.
Not at all, Jeeves, I've nearly finished.
But would it not be advisable to take some form of action?
Action, Jeeves, action? How can that help us now? And what form of it would you suggest? I should have said the thing had got beyond the scope of human power.
It might be possible to overtake Mr. Fink-Nottle, sir, and apprise him of his peril.
Well, we can try, if you like, yes. I see little percentage in it, but I suppose one should leave no stone unturned.
No, sir.
Well, shift ho for J. Dobbs, then.
Precisely, sir. This way.
Righto. I would say this was the end, wouldn't you?
While there is life, there is hope.
Well, neatly put, but I disagree with you. I see no reason for even 2 pennyworth of hope. We shan't overtake Gussy. He must have got there long ago. About now, Dobbs is sitting on his chest and slipping the handcuffs on him.
The officer may not have proceeded directly to his home, sir.
You think there's a possibility that he paused at a pub for a gargle? It may be so, of course, but I'm not sanguine. It would mean that fate was handing out lucky breaks, and my experience of fate... Hello? Who's that?
Yoo-hoo, Bertie. Hiya, Jeeves.
Good evening, miss. Miss Pirbright.
Quite. Hello, Corky. Waiting for Gussy?
Yes, he went by just now.
I suppose you know you have lured him on to a doom so hideous that contemplating it the brain reels.
What on earth do you mean?
Simply this, young C. Purbright. When Gussie reaches journey's end, he will find Dobbs there reading Robert G. Ingersoll and boning up on his atheism. How long the officer will continue reading Ingersoll R.G. after discovering that Fink-Nottle A. has broken in and is de-dogging the premises, one cannot say, of course.
Bertie, don't be an ass. Dobbs is at the concert.
He was at the concert, yes, but he left early.
Sam, that's Sam. Oh, Bertie, what a chump you are, pulling a girl's leg and trying to scare her stiff. Everything's gone according to plan. Here comes Sam. I'd know his voice anywhere. Attaboy, Sam, this way. Come to Mother. Inside. Quiet, boy, quiet. Right-ho, Bertie, it's time to be leaving. The quick fade-out is what the director would suggest here, I think. I'll be seeing you at the hall later. Uncle Sidney's been asked to look in for coffee and sandwiches after the show. And though I wasn't included in the invitation, I shall assume I was. Cheer-ho, Bertie.
Goodbye. Well, Jeeves.
Yes.
Women.
Precisely, sir.
Hello. Who's that?
Sir?
That distant running figure.
Ah, yes, sir.
Or rather, those two distant running figures. Oh, golly. Oh, no. Don't say it.
I fear the worst, sir.
So do I. And here it comes, Jeeves. Look.
Yes, sir. I suggest we withdraw under this tree, sir.
Good thinking, Jeeves.
I think all may yet be well, sir. Mr. Fink-Nottle appears not only to hold a considerable lead over the officer, but to be increasing it steadily.
I say, yes, you're right, Jeeves. He's going like a jackrabbit across the western prairie. Look at his green beard floating in the breeze. And his ankle works good, too.
The young gentleman is undoubtedly outdistancing Constable Dobbs, sir.
But, Jeeves, look. He's coming over here. What the devil's he up to?
I regret to say, sir, that Mr. Fink-Nottle appears to have abandoned the possibility of escaping on foot in favor of concealing himself in the branches of this tree. We had better retire further back, sir.
Right. A fathead. A fathead. Where do you think that's going to get him?
I could not say, sir.
Nor I, Jeeves. Only his diseased mind knows the answer to that one. Oh, that fathead. Ernest Dobbs may not be one of Hampshire's brightest thinkers, but he is smart enough to stand under a tree.
Here is the officer now, sir.
All right, you. It's a fair cop. Come down, Mr. Wooster. Come along down.
Jeeves, I can't watch this. I shall close my eyes. Tell me when the painful scene is over.
Very good, sir.
What was that? Good Lord, Jeeves, what's happened? What's Dobbs doing down there?
I took the liberty of coshing the officer, sir.
What?
Yes, sir. I considered it advisable in the circumstances as the simplest method of avoiding unpleasantness. You will find it safe to descend now, Mr. Fink-Nottle, sir.
Dave?
Come down, Gussy, you chump.
What? Oh, righto. I don't quite
If I might offer the suggestion, sir, speed is of the essence. One cannot guarantee that the constable will remain indefinitely immobile.
You don't mean he'll recover, Jeeves?
Yes, sir, almost immediately.
I'd have said all he wanted was a lily in the right hand and he'd be set.
Oh, no, sir. The cosh produces merely a passing malaise. I anticipate that Dobbs, on coming to his senses, will experience a headache somewhat more severe than that from which he was suffering earlier, but...
Into each life some rain must fall?
Precisely, sir.
Oh, Gussie is amongst us once again.
Hey, what?
Yeah, I think it would be prudent also, sir, if I may say so, for Mr. Fink-Nottle to remove his green beard. It presents too striking a means of identification.
But he can't. He's stuck on his spirit gum.
If Mr. Fink-Nottle will permit me to escort him to his room, sir, I shall be able to adjust that without difficulty.
You will? Right-ho, then. Get going, Gussie.
Hey?
Push off.
Hey? What?
Jeeves,
Sir?
remove him.
Very good, sir.
It was with mixed feelings that I returned to the hall and dug in my room, for I had, it will come as no surprise to you, much food for thought. The revelation of this deeper, coshing side to Jeeves's character had come as something of a shock to me, and I found myself wondering how far the thing would spread. It was a disquieting thought that in the heat of an argument about, say, soft-bosom shirts for evening wear, he might forget the decencies of debate and elect to apply the closure by hauling off and socking me on the frontal bone with something solid.
One could but trust that the feudal spirit would serve to keep the impulse in check. I was still trying to adjust the faculties to the idea that I'd been nursing in my bosom all these years someone who would be gratefully accepted as a muscle guy by any gang on the lookout for new blood, when Gussy tooled in, minus the shrubbery. He, too, appeared to have something on his mind.
Bertie.
Yes, old man?
Bertie, do you know what it is to have the scales fall from your eyes?
Oh, yes. A frequent occurrence with me, old man.
They've fallen from mine now. And I'll tell you the exact moment it happened. It was when I was up in the tree gazing down at Constable Dobbs and hearing him describe the situation as a fair cop. That was when the scales fell.
Half a second, Gussie, just to keep the record straight. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, the scales fell from my eyes. Something happened to me. In a flash, with no warning, love died.
Whose love?
Mine, you ass, but Corky. I felt that a girl who could subject a man to such an ordeal was not the wife for me. Mind you, I still admire her enormously, and I think she would make an excellent helpmeet for somebody of the Ernest Hemingway type who likes living dangerously. But what I require as a life partner is someone slightly less impulsive.
Whoopee!
No, don't yell whoopee like that, Bertie. You made me bite my tongue.
I'm sorry, Gussie, but I stick to it. I said whoopee and I meant whoopee. And if I yelled it, it was merely because I was deeply stirred. I don't mind telling you now that I have viewed your passion for young Corky with concern, pursing the lips and asking myself dubiously if you were on the right lines. I've always thought that the girl for you was Madeline Bassett, and I'm delighted you now intend to go back to her and live happily ever after. It will be a genuine pleasure to me to weigh in with a silver egg boiler or whatever you may suggest as a wedding gift, and during the ceremony you can rely on me to be in a ringside pew singing "Now the labourer's task is o'er" like nobody's business. Why are you writhing?
Well, wouldn't anybody writhe who've got themselves into the jam I have? You're talking rot, Bertie.
Rot?
Yes, about going back to Madeline. How can I go back to Madeline, dearly as I should like to, after writing her that letter yesterday, telling her it was all off?
Ah, that letter, yes. Gussie, all is well. No need for concern. Others have worked while you slept. Madeline didn't receive that letter.
What? Why not? How do you know? What are you talking about?
Listen, briefly, I travelled down to Wimbledon Common last night on the milk train, and this morning parked myself in a bush just outside the dining room window of the Larches.
That's it.
Let me finish. As soon as the housemaid had deposited your missive on Madeline's breakfast plate and left the room, I swooped on it like the Assyrian, who, you may remember, came down like the wolf on the fold, trousered it, and later consigned it to the flames of the very fireplace in front of which you are now standing.
Bertie, thank you.
Not at all, Elsie.
As a general rule, I yield to none in considering you the world's premier half-wit, but you seem on this occasion to have displayed resource, enterprise, and an almost human intelligence.
That's very handsome of you.
You saved my life, Bertie.
Quite all right, old man.
But for you...
Don't mention it, just the Wooster service.
I say, I think I'll pop off and see Madeline straight away. I'll get my car and drive to Wimbledon.
A good scheme, but won't she be in bed?
Then I'll sleep in London and go out there first thing in the morning.
A wise move.
Excuse me, sir.
Not at all, Jeeves. Come in.
I'm just going, Jeeves. Oh, I say, could you pack up my things and send them on for me? I'm buzzing up to London right away in order to call on Miss Bassett early tomorrow morning.
Certainly, sir.
Thanks a lot. Righto then, Bertie. Thanks again for everything. Cheerio.
Cheerio, Gussie. Did you grasp the gist of that, Jeeves?
If I understood Mr. Fink-Nottle correctly, sir, he wishes me to pack his things and send them on for him as he is proceeding to London at once in order to call on Miss Bassett early tomorrow morning, sir.
Well, correct. But did you gather the reasoning behind this sudden exit, Jeeves?
Yes, sir. Mr. Fink-Nottle was good enough to confide in me. And I must confess I had rather anticipated some such contingency. Mr. Fink-Nottle is of the quiet, domestic type that enjoys a calm, regular life, while Miss Pirbright is perhaps somewhat...
More than somewhat, Jeeves. Considerably more. However, all that is behind him now, and I must say I'm delighted the way things have panned out.
Most gratifying, sir.
Most. If only one felt that fate was going to do the square thing on all the other fronts.
Sir?
Well, the tangled love lives of Catsmeat, Gertrude Winkworth, Queenie, Officer Dobbs, Corky, and Esmond Haddock.
Ah, yes.
As regards the last named, of course, we'll have to wait to see whether your Clark scheme has brought home the bacon. Esmond will certainly cheer to the rafters tonight, but the question remains whether he's got it up the nose enough to look his aunts in the eye and make them wilt. You remember, Corky refuses to have him back until he stands up to Dame Daphne Winkworth and the Mrs. Charlotte, Emmeline, Harriet, and Myrtle Deverill.
Exactly, sir. If you will excuse me now, sir, I fear I must be leaving you. I promised to help my Uncle Charlie serve the refreshments in the drawing room.
Oh, the coffee and sandwiches? Scarcely your job, Jeeves, surely.
No, sir. But one is glad to stretch a point to oblige a relative.
Blood is thicker than water, you mean?
Precisely, sir.
Right-ho then, Jeeves. Off you go. And I must get dressed for this bin.
Very good.
Hello.
Mr. Haddock, I believe, sir.
Thank you, Jeeves.
Pull up your fox and chase the fox and lay the blight hello. Go hearken to the merry horn, oh, the brake and oh, the ball, right, although a bag get old. What-ho.
Hello, Esmond.
Hello, Gussie, what-ho.
Yes, Gussie. Take a seat, old man. I'm just dressing.
Take a seat?
Yes.
You don't seriously think that on this night of nights I can sit down, do you, Gussie? I don't suppose I shall sit down again for months and months and months. It's only by the exercise of the greatest willpower that I'm keeping myself from floating up to the ceiling. Yoicks, hark forward, tally-ho, hello. Hunting we will go, my lads, hunting we will go.
Yes, you certainly wowed them tonight, Esmond. I don't wonder you're bucked.
My good Gussie, you don't think I'm floating about like this just because my song got over?
Aren't you?
Certainly not.
Then why do you float?
Because of Corky, of course. Good Lord, I haven't told you, have I? Let me tell you the whole story.
Do.
I wonder, Gussie, if you remember a conversation we had the first night that you were here. To refresh your memory, it was the last time we were allowed to get at the port. The occasion when you touched up that lyric of my Aunt Charlotte's in such a masterly way, strengthening the weak spots and making it box office. If you recall.
I recall, yes.
In the course of that conversation, I told you that Corky had given me the brusharoo. If you recollect.
Yes, I recollect.
Well, tonight, you know, Gussie, it's the most extraordinary sensation swaying a vast audience.
Would you call it a vast audience?
Well, the 2 bob, shilling and 8penny seats were all sold out, and there must have been fully 50 standees at the back. Still, call it a fairly vast audience. It's the most extraordinary sensation swaying a fairly vast audience. It makes you feel you're a pretty hot number and that you're not going to stand any nonsense from anyone. And under the head of nonsense, you find yourself casting girls giving you the brusharoo. I mention this so that you'll be able to understand what follows.
Well, I think I know what follows, Esmond. You got hold of Corky and took a strong line.
Why, yes. As a matter of fact, that was what I was leading up to. How did you guess?
I foresaw what would happen if you slew that fairy vast audience. I knew you were one of those birds on whom popular acclamation has sensational effects. Yours has been a repressed life, Esmond, and you have no doubt a marked inferiority complex. The cheers of the multitude frequently act like a powerful drug upon bimbos with inferiority complexes.
Golly, you're a deep thinker, Gussie.
With the cheers of the multitude ringing in your ears, you came off that platform a changed man, full of yeast and breathing flame through the nostril. You found Corky, you backed her into a corner. You pulled the dominant male on her and fixed everything up, right?
Yes, that was just what happened. Amazing how you got it all taped out.
Oh, well, one studies the psychology of the individual, you know.
Only I didn't back her into a corner. She was in her car, just driving off somewhere, and I shoved my head in at the window.
And?
Oh, we kiddied back and forth. I told her she was the lodestar of my life and all that sort of thing, adding that I intended to have no more rot about her not marrying me. And after a bit of pressing, she came clean and admitted that I was the tree on which the fruit of her life hung.
I say, really? Nice work, Esmond. Then everything's all right.
Yes, everything's fine. Well, except for one small detail.
And what is that in round numbers?
Well, it's a thing I don't know if you will quite understand, Gussie. To make it clear, I shall have to go back to the time when we were engaged before. She severed relations then because she considered that I was a bit too much under the domination of my aunts, and she didn't like it.
Oh, really?
Yes, and unfortunately she hasn't changed her mind. Nothing doing in the orange blossom and wedding cake line, she says, until I have defied my aunts.
Well, go ahead, defy them.
Oh, it's all very well to say that, Gussie, but it's a thing that presents all sorts of technical difficulties. You can't just walk up to an aunt and say, I defy you. You need a cue of some sort, and I'm dashed if I know how to set about it.
I'll tell you what. It seems to me that here's a matter on which you would do well to seek advice from Jeeves.
Jeeves?
My man.
I thought your man's name was Meadows.
It is. Slip of the tongue. I meant to say Wooster's man. He's a bird of extraordinary sagacity and never fails to deliver the goods.
Doesn't one rather want to keep visiting valets out of this?
Not when they're Jeeves, no. You see, if you didn't live all the year round in this rural morgue, you'd know that Jeeves isn't so much a valet as a Mayfair consultant. The highest in the land bring their problems to him. I shouldn't wonder if they didn't give him jeweled snuff boxes.
And you think he would have something to suggest?
He always has something to suggest.
Well, then where is the blighter?
He's gone to help his Uncle Charlie, your butler, Silversmith, push the sandwiches round to the drawing room.
Golly, that's where we ought to be too, my lad. Well, a bit late. Come on, let's go and find him. Are you ready?
Ready, yes.
Then let's go. Hello, 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 hello. Ah, hunting we will go, my lad. Hunting we will go.
Good night, sir. Good night, madam.
Good night, Silversmith. Good night.
Where I don't blow our back yet home. What ho, Silversmith? Showing out some guests, what?
Yes, sir. Colonel and Mrs. Kegley Bassington and family.
Hallelujah. Smooth work missing those steps, Gussy. What England needs is fewer and better Kegley Bassingtons. You agree with me, Silversmith?
I fear I've not formulated an opinion on the subject, sir.
Silversmith, you are a pompous old ass. Come along, Gussy. Let's join the throng. Yoicks, tally-ho! Hello, 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 hello. Auntie, we... Oh, Aunt Daphne, hello. And where are you off to?
I am going to bed. I have a severe headache. Why are you so late, Esmond?
Well, if you ask me, I'd say it was because I didn't arrive sooner.
Colonel and Mrs. Kegley Bassington were most surprised. They could not understand why you were not here.
Then they must be the most priceless fatheads. You'd think a child would have realized that the solution was that I was somewhere else.
Esmond!
Good night, Aunt Daphne. Come along, Gussy. Let's get at those sandwiches. Hello, 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 hello. I say, Gussy, quite a good crowd here.
Pretty full, yes.
4 aunts, my cousin Gertrude, the vicar. I say, who is that red-haired stripling with Corky?
Oh, that's my Wooster's young cousin Thomas. He's staying at the vicarage.
Here's Queenie with the sandwiches. Good evening, Queenie.
Good evening, sir. Sardine, ham, tongue, cucumber, or potted meat.
Oh, they all look good to me. Get digging in, Gussy.
Thanks.
Coffee, sir?
Oh, Jeeves. Esmond, this is Jeeves.
Oh, Jeeves. You're Jeeves, are you? Well, I'd like a word with you, Jeeves, sometime.
Very good, sir.
Not now, later on. Silversmith looking important. Yes, Silversmith?
Constable Dobbs, sir.
Golly, Jeeves.
Yes, sir.
Well, well, well. Hello, 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 hello. Evening, Dobbs, and what brings you here?
Evening, sir. I've come on an unpleasant errand, I'm afraid, sir.
Jeeves, do you think...
I very much fear so, sir.
Well, come on, Dobbs, what is it? Out with it, man.
Well, sir, I wonder, sir, if before going into the matter further, sir, I might have a word with the vicar, Mr. Pirbright, sir, on a spiritual subject.
Go ahead.
What is it, Dobbs?
Well, sir, it's with ref to my having seen the light.
Annie! You've seen the light, Dobbs.
And I'll tell you how it come about, sir. On the evening of the 23rd inst, well, tonight, as a matter of fact, I was proceeding about my duties, chasing a marauder up a tree, when I was unexpectedly struck by a thunderbolt.
A thunderbolt? A thunderbolt, Dobbs?
What did he say?
The officer says he was struck by a thunderbolt, Charlotte.
Oh, very nice, too.
Most extraordinary.
Yes, sir. Well, sir, I'm no fool. I can take a hint. If it's got as far as thunderbolt stops, I said to myself, it's time you made a drastic revision of your spiritual outlook, Dobbs, I said to myself. So if you follow my meaning, sir, I've seen the light. And what I wanted to ask you, sir, was, do I have to join the infants' Bible class, or can I start singing in the choir right away?
Dobbs, I can hardly say how delighted I am that this has come to pass. It behoves us all.
That is Queenie, Jeeves, is it not, sobbing on Dobbs's chest?
Yes.
It looks to to me, Jeeves, as if tortured souls preferred have taken another upward trend, and one can chalk up on the slate 2 more sundered hearts reunited in the springtime, what?
Certainly, sir. And if I may say so, sir, this rapprochement is doubly welcome, cancelling, as it does, Mr. Pirbright's honourable obligations towards Queen.
Of course, yes, Catsmeat's free again, isn't he? No wonder Gertrude Winkworth's cheered up a bit. Hello. Silversmith's putting a quick, stern father.
Queenie, come along, my dear. None of that in here. Come along now.
Oh, Dad, only seen the light. He's seen the light. Oh, no, Dad.
Come along, my girl.
I'm sorry about that, Mr. Pirbright, sir. Sorry, very sorry indeed. I got carried away like.
I quite understand, Dobbs. Please don't apologize. But perhaps it would be better if you came to see me tomorrow. We could have a long talk about everything then, eh?
Oh, very good, sir, yes. Very good. In that case, sir, Mr. Abbott, sir, I regret that I must move on to the main purpose of my visit, which is an official one, sir.
Ah, yes, Dobbs. When you say official, you mean you wish to consult me in my capacity as Justice of the Peace?
Yes, sir.
Have a sardine sandwich, then.
No, sir, I thank you.
Well, I don't insist on sardine. How about ham, tongue, cucumber, or potted meat?
Oh, thank you, sir, but again, no. On account of the unpleasant errand I have come on, sir, as I mentioned before. I'm looking for Mr. Wooster, sir.
Wooster, eh? Wooster, eh? Excellent. What has he been doing?
Effecting burglarious entries, sir.
Has he, by Jove? Has he?
Yes, sir. On the 23rd... this evening, sir, a burglarious entry was effected by the accused in my police station and certain property of the Crown abstracted, to wit, one dog. I caught him in the very act, sir.
You actually found him abstracting this to wit one dog?
Yes, sir. In the act of unloosing it and encouraging it to buzz off. It proceeded to buzz off, and I proceeded to say, ho. Whereupon, he also proceeded to buzz off, with me after him like a split. I proceeded to pursue him up a tree, and was about to effect an arrest, when along come this here thunderbolt depriving me of my senses. When I come to, the accused had departed.
And what makes you think it was Wooster?
He was wearing a green beard, sir, and a check suit. This rendered him conspicuous.
Yes, I see. He had not changed after the performance.
No, sir.
Capital. Topping. Then, the first thing to do, I should say, is to find Wooster. Has anybody seen him?
Not since the concert. What did he say?
Excuse me, sir. I have some knowledge of the gentleman's whereabouts. Mr. Wooster has gone to London in his car.
Fleeing from justice, eh?
No, sir. Might I make a remark, sir?
Carry on,
Thank
please.
you, sir. I merely wish to say that the officer is mistaken in supposing the miscreant responsible for the outrage was Mr. Wooster. I was continuously in Mr. Wooster's society from the time he left the concert hall. I accompanied him to his room, and we remained together until he took his departure for London. I was assisting to remove his beard, sir.
You mean you give him an alibi?
A complete alibi, sir.
Damn. Well, officer?
If it wasn't the accused Wooster, then it must have been the other chap. The other one in the crosstalk act, sir. The one who was playing Mike. He was wearing a green beard, too. Meadows is his name. Mr. Fink-Nottle's man he is.
Oh, golly, cat's meat. Jeeves, you're throwing cat's meat to the wolves. Look at poor Gertrude Winkworth.
No, sir.
Jeeves.
Oh, yes, sir.
Bring Meadows here at once.
Very good, sir.
Now, who do you say this man is?
Mr. Fink-Nottle's man, Miss Harriet.
Why was he stealing the dog from you?
I had arrested the dog, Miss Emmeline, for biting. The first bite was effected here on these very premises, you may remember.
What's he saying, Myrtle? The officer says the dog bit someone here, Charlotte. Whom did the creature bite, Dobbs?
Silversmith, madam.
Do you mean that the dog in question is that vicious animal who ran amok in here last Friday?
Oh, yes, madam.
Good heavens. Esmond, I hope you will send this man to prison for a very long time. Yes, Esmond, be severe.
Can't he have a whipping, too? Nothing like a good whipping.
Meadows.
Are you Meadows?
Yes, sir. You wish to speak to me, sir?
I not only wish to speak to you, Meadows, I wish to give you 30 days without the option.
How much? 30 days, dear.
Is that all?
I beg your pardon, sir. I don't quite understand.
You don't? Then let me ask you a few questions, Meadows. You sustained the role of Mike in the Pat and Mike entertainment this evening.
Yes, sir, I did.
You wore a green beard?
Yes, sir.
And a tracksuit?
Yes, sir.
Then you're for it.
I still don't understand.
Oh, Claude! Gertrude, what are you doing?
Gertrude, kissing the valet.
Gertrude, stop that at once.
Hello.
Claude, oh, it's been so long. Esmond, don't send him to prison.
Gertrude, my own true love. It's all right, precious. It won't last long, and when I come out, we shall get married.
Married? Did you say married?
Now, wait a minute, everyone. What is all this? Gertrude, what are you doing?
Esmond?
Yes, Corky?
Let me explain. This, Esmond, is my brother Catsmeet.
What is?
This is.
What? That?
Yes. He came here as a valet for love of Gertrude, and a darn good third-reel situation, if you ask me.
Miss Perkins?
Now, wait a minute. Now, quiet, everyone. Let's thresh this out, shall we? This character is not Meadows?
No.
He's not a valet?
No.
But he is your brother Catsmeet?
Yes.
Ah, now I've got it. Now it's all straight. How are you, Catsmeet?
I'm fine, Esmond.
That's good. That's splendid. And then
What's going on?
Just one moment, Dobbs.
Esmond, that man is kissing Gertrude. Stop him at once.
Never seen such a thing in my life. A visiting valet. Not a valet, Emmeline. The man's an actor.
An actor, Charlotte?
That's right, yes. Miss Pirbright's brother is an actor.
Quite disgusting. Our father would have horsewhipped the fellow on the steps of his club.
Esmond!
Don't just stand there. Separate them.
Quiet, all of you. Hush, please. Now, Catsmeet, you and Gertrude are going to get married, you say?
That's right, yes.
Oh, Claude, I'm so happy.
Married?
Please, everybody, please. What's the procedure, Catsmeet?
I think the best scheme will be for us to nip up to London right away and put the thing through tomorrow. I've got the license all ready and waiting, and I see no difficulties ahead that a good registry office can't solve. Is that right, precious?
Oh, yes, Angel.
Well, that's fine, Catsmeet. Why don't you borrow my car?
That's awfully good of you, old man.
Not at all, not a bit. Delighted to be of assistance. The car's in the...
Oi, sir. One moment, sir.
Dobbs. Yes, Dobbs. Yes, Dobbs, quite. I know what's on your mind, Dobbs. I can see what you're driving at. You very naturally wish to make a pinch. But consider, Dobbs, how slender is the evidence which you can bring forward to support your charge. You say you chased a man in a green beard and a check suit up a tree. But the visibility was very poor, and you admit yourself that you are being struck by thunderbolts all the time, which must have distracted your attention. So it is more than probable that you were mistaken. And I put it to you, Dobbs, that when you thought you saw a man in a green beard and a check suit, it may quite easily have been a clean-shaven man in something quiet and blue.
Well, sir...
I put it to you, Dobbs. I put it to you. You have a promising future in the police force, with an opportunity of rising to who knows what eminence someday. Your superiors, I know, are extremely pleased with you, and it would be a great pity, would it not, to prejudice all that for the sake of one paltry pinch based on inadequate evidence. I put it to you, Dobbs.
Perhaps you're right, sir.
No. Quiet. Of course I'm right. I knew you'd see it when it was pointed out to you. We don't want any miscarriage of justice, what?
No, sir.
I should say not. If there's one thing that gives me the pip, it's a miscarriage of justice. Catsmeet, you are dismissed without a stain on your character.
That's fine.
I thought you'd be pleased. Dobbsy, I know just how you're feeling. But when you think it over, I'm sure you'll be glad you haven't been instrumental in throwing a spanner into the happiness of two young hearts in the springtime. If I were you, I'd pop off to the kitchen and have a word with Queenie. There must be much that you want to discuss.
You're right, sir. Yes. Thank you.
Righto. You pop along, then. Cat's meat. I suppose you and Gertrude don't want to hang around, spending a lot of time packing.
No, we thought we'd leg it instanter.
Exactly what I would suggest.
Isn't you are behaving or bother the place?
Quiet, you two.
Gertrude, if you want any clothes, you can get them at my apartment. Cat's meat's got a key. Well, that's sweet of you, Corky. Not at all.
Splendid. Righto, then. Cat's meat, the quickest way to the garage is through the French windows and turn left.
Thank you, Esmond, for everything. Goodbye, all. Bye, Gussy.
Me? Oh, yes, cheerio thing. All the best.
Good luck, both of you. Bye. Goodbye, Esmond. See you soon.
Cheerio, Gertrude, and good luck. So, that's that.
This has gone too far. If this is your idea of a joke...
Esmond, I think your aunts are trying to attract your attention, Angel.
Oh, yes?
Esmond, will you please...
Oh, hello, Aunt Daphne.
Will someone be so kind as to tell me what is the reason for this uproar? What is going on? My daughter with an actor.
Even lent from his car.
Oh, Esmond, is this true?
Quite true, yes, Aunt Daphne, and I really cannot have any discussion or argument about it. I acted as I deemed best, and the subject is closed. Silence, Aunt Daphne. Less of it, Aunt Emmeline. Quiet, Aunt Charlotte. Desist, Aunt Harriet. Aunt Myrtle, put a sock in it. Really, the way you're going on, one would scarcely suppose that I was the master of the house and the head of the family, and that my word was law. I don't know if you happen to know it, but in Turkey, all this insubordinate stuff, these attempts to dictate to the master of the house and the head of the family, would have led long before this to your being strangled with bowstrings and bunged into the Bosphorus. Aunt Daphne, you have been warned. One more yip out of you, Aunt Myrtle, and I'll stop your pocket money. Now then, let me just give you the strength of this. The reason I abetted young Gertrude in her matrimonial plans was that the man she loves is a good egg. I have this on the authority of his sister Corky, who speaks extremely well of him. And by the way, his sister Corky and I are going to be married ourselves. Correct?
In every detail.
He's going to marry us. Barbara, disgusting.
Come. Now then, no need to be upset about it. It won't affect you, dear old souls. You will go on living here, if you call it living, just as you've always done. All that'll happen is that you will be short one haddock. I propose to accompany my wife to Hollywood, and when she's through with her contract there, we shall set up a shack in some rural spot and grow pigs and cows and things. I think that covers everything, doesn't it, Corky?
I think it does, yes.
Righto. Then how about a short stroll in the moonlight?
Oh, lovely, Esmond, lovely.
Then let us go.
My first act on reaching the sleeping quarters a few moments later was to take pencil and paper, sit down, and make out a balance sheet. As follows. Sundered hearts, Esmond, Corky, Gussie, Madeline, Officer Dobbs, Queenie, Catsmeat, Gertrude. Reunited hearts, Esmond, Corky, Gussie, Madeline, Officer Dobbs, Queenie, Catsmeat, Gertrude. It came out exactly square. Not a single loose end left over. With a not unmanly sigh, for if there's one thing that is the dish of the decent-minded man, it is seeing misunderstandings cleared up, especially in the springtime, I laid down the writing materials and was preparing to turn in for the night when Jeeves came shimmering in. Oh, hello, Jeeves. I was rather wondering if you would show up. A big night, what?
Extremely, sir.
Gratifying, what?
Most gratifying, sir.
And as always, due to your unremitting efforts.
It's very kind of you to say so, sir.
Not at all, Jeeves. We chalk up one more of your triumphs on the slate. I would admit that for an instant during the proceedings, when you gave Gussy that alibi, I experienced a momentary doubt as to whether you were on the right lines, feeling that you were but landing cat's meat in the bouillon. But calmer reflection told me what you were up to. Well, you knew that cat's meat wouldn't be in any real peril. Esmond Haddock was not going to judge the brother of the woman he loved.
Exactly, sir.
But you can't get engaged to a girl with one hand and send her brother up for 30 days with the other.
No, sir.
Oh, it's nice to think that Esmond and Corky are now headed for the centre aisle.
Yes.
Is something wrong, Jeeves?
I was thinking of Master Thomas, your cousin, sir. The announcement of Miss Pirbright's betrothal came as a severe blow to him.
Oh, waste no time commiserating with young Foss, Jeeves. His is a resilient nature, and the agony will pass. I see a bright future ahead of him. Well, rather, fairly bright. Having run away from school, he has an interview with his mother to get over first.
Yes, sir. That interview has already occurred, sir.
What do you mean?
My primary motive in intruding upon you at this late hour, sir, was to inform you that her ladyship is downstairs.
Aunt Agatha?
Yes, sir.
Downstairs?
Yes, sir, in the drawing room. Her ladyship arrived some few moments ago. It appears that Master Thomas, unwilling to occasion her anxiety on account of his sudden disappearance from school, wrote her a letter informing her that he was safe and well, and unfortunately the postmark King's Deverill on the envelope.
Oh, my gosh. She came racing down.
Yes, sir.
And
a somewhat painful scene took place between mother and son, sir, in the course of which Master Thomas happened to mention that his visit to King's Deverill was arranged in the hope that her ladyship would consequently cancel hers.
And did he mention me, Jeeves?
Yes.
He blew the gas completely?
Yes. And I was wondering whether in these circumstances you might not consider it advisable to take an immediate departure down the water pipe. I understand there is an excellent milk train at 2:54. Her ladyship is expressing a desire to see you.
Jeeves, this is grave news. But it comes at a moment when I'm well fitted to receive it. I have just witnessed Esmond Haddock pound the stuffing out of 5 aunts. And I feel that after an exhibition like that, it would ill beseem a Wooster to curl up before just one. I feel strong and resolute, Jeeves. I shall now go downstairs and pull an Esmond Haddock on Aunt Agatha. And if things look like becoming too sticky, I can always borrow that cosh of yours, what?
Very good, sir.
In that episode, the parts were played as follows. Jeeves, Michael Horton, Bertie, Richard Bryars, Esmond Haddock, James Villiers, Corky Pirbright, Joe Kendall, Catsmeet Pirbright, Kenneth Fortescue, Gussie Fink-Nottle, David Valler, Dame Daphne Winkworth, Miriam Margulies, Silversmith and the Reverend Sidney Pirbright, John Dunbar, P.C. Dobbs, Anthony Higginson. Other parts, Margot Boyd, Betty Cardno, and Kate Coleridge. The episode was adapted for radio by Chris Miller from the book The Mating Season by P.G. Wodehouse.